Ew. What's up, motherfuckers? How's everybody doing? I just saw this on YouTube Shorts, so I kind of want to watch this real quick. So we'll do that real quick before we dive in.
So Caroline Leavitt, last week CBS News did an interview, and Tony Dokoupil, the new host, did an interview with Donald Trump for CBS News, of course. And this comes, of course, after CBS paid off the administration back in 2024 because of an edit of a 60 Minutes piece. It was total bullshit that happened, but they did pay them off after that, and after, of course, the installation of Bari Weiss. So this was not going to be an insanely hard-hitting interview. I think it is safe to say, and it certainly was not. Yet after the interview, here is what Caroline Leavitt was caught saying to Tony Dokoupil on tape.
Make sure you guys don't cut the tape. Make sure the interview is out in full.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
You said if it's not out in full, we'll sue your ass off.
So first of all, I have staffed dozens, hundreds, thousands. I have no idea how many interviews in my life, including with all these same broadcast networks. That is never a conversation I have ever heard, I've ever been a part of. I don't even think has been possible before the Trump era that we're living in. And what it tells you is so much, because first of all, that is not going to be a hard-hitting interview. It wasn't. We all saw the interview. And second, these interviews are always edited. I mean, when I worked for Barack Obama, we would do interviews of many hours long with 60 Minutes. And they would edit them down, of course, because the show, even in its totality, was 60 minutes and less when you count in all of the commercials. So 40 minutes, 42 minutes, or whatever it is. So they're always edited, which is and the evening news is 22 minutes. So of course they're typically going to be edited. Now they put out a longer transcript online, and there's that, of course, and that shouldn't be edited. But it tells you a lot that the President of the United States is telling the press secretary who works for him to threaten legal action. And I love how she basically said, he said, if it's not out in full, we'll sue your ass off. So he literally must have said that to her, and that is also quite telling. So Caroline Leavitt,
Wow. Fucking nuts. That's so fucking crazy. Jesus. What you eating, baby?
Meatballs.
Meatballs! I got a couple meatballs for you.
Meatball sando. Vegan edition.
Well, my meatballs aren't vegan. Sorry. All right, let's see what David Pakman
Look
says.
at that.
as
Welcome
attorney
to the
in
Jim
court.
Acosta Show. It's another day that ends in Y and Donald Trump's assault on American democracy. It's also our first anniversary. It's 1 year of independent media, 1 year of the Jim Acosta Show. So really appreciate everybody tuning in and being there for us over the last year. And our special guest to kick off this hour is David Pakman, who is an independent journalist on YouTube. We all know David's work. He is a force to be reckoned with on YouTube and so many other platforms. He's here on Substack as well. So for folks who watch us on
David Pakman, an Argentinian Jew.
Substack, it's always great to see David. And Duke has been kind of circulating in this room here where I do my show in my little home studio. I brought treats.
I do seem to have
People
a
ask
type.
all the time, David, where is Duke? Duke doesn't come and visit you anymore. It's because he's gotten used to me just talking into my laptop in my studio every day, and he just goes and sits on the couch and behaves himself. You probably can relate to some of this.
Yes.
But David, great to see you as always. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here. And you know, they say the first year is the toughest, Jim, and
Really?
I think that is probably true. And now you're beyond that.
I want to talk about the day's news, but I also want to get your take on media and independent media and why it's so important, what the journey has been like for you, because I mean, you've built an incredible following on YouTube and so many other places, Apple Podcasts. What has this been like for you, and why do you think it's just booming the way it is right now?
Listen, for me, it's been the only reason I can do this.
Cluck, cluck,
My
cluck.
background is different than yours, is because of these platforms that I came up contemporaneously with, where people were starting to do news and politics on YouTube and podcasts, etc. Because I never had anybody hire me and say, "Hey, I'm putting you on the air." And so without these technologies, that there would be no show. And I think what's really interesting about folks like you and others who have come from legacy media and now are doing the independent thing, there's a desire for a more direct relationship. Some people say parasocial and it has kind of negative connotations, but I don't think it's a negative thing. The sort of like amorphous blob talking head on a 3-letter network is not as appealing from an individual standpoint, I think, as it once was, and people want a more direct relationship with the people that they're getting their certainly their opinion and maybe their news from. And I think that this is more intimate and it's more personal. And I think now, especially as people are sort of less connected in some ways than we have been in the past, having a circle of sources that feel more like people you want to talk to just appeals to the average person in a new way.
Yeah, and I think also the directness that you bring to your program, and I think people want that these days. They don't want both sidesism. They don't want people beating around the bush and tiptoeing through about this.
Knows when they saw the gun, how they saw the gun, everything else. Bottom line, it was terrible. Both of them were terrible. The other was terrible too. And I'm not sure about his parents, but I know her parents were big Trump fans. Makes me
Oh
feel
my God.
bad anyway. But I mean, I guess you could say even worse. They were tremendous Trump people, Trump fans, and you know, the daughter was, she was, I don't know if you could say radicalized, maybe not. I don't know. But
I mean,
Fucking
David,
idiot.
to see that.
you know, I think the top part of that is really the relevant. I mean, he feels worse for Renee Good's family because the parents, he says, are Trump supporters. I mean, this to me, it typifies Donald Trump and who he is.
Yeah, and because the obvious inverse of this.
Hello, I'm back.
Oh, what's up?
Hello, Jordy.
Hey.
I'm Batman.
Jordy. That's what Aurora calls me.
So, about the Epstein files, what? Okay, so, is the stream open?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Jordan World, the stream. This is my favorite pro-Israel, pro-Judaism, my homie.
Yay.
He is the most humanist person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
I mean, you're a humanist. It's just your political beliefs are different than mine. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm a leftist, but like, you are like what
I'm a moderate Democrat. You know.
or you could be an independent. So, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about people who call themselves independent, but they are not actually independent? Like, do you think they're mostly right wing, left wing, or what?
I'd say most of the people who are faking being independent are right wing.
Hmm.
Yeah. They tend to.
And why is that?
Because it's strategic.
Hmm.
They're trying to
To know the person.
pretend to be independent so they can sneak their point of view in with certain people who otherwise would not be open to their point of view.
Surely not everybody, right? Like there's
No.
true independent peoples.
Yeah, I'm saying people who are faking being independent.
Ugh, yeah, I can't imagine.
They tend to be more right wing.
That makes sense. I've heard
I
that
mean,
as well.
I believe it's just a LARP for these people. Like, most politics bullshit is just a LARP. A lot of people just LARP on in the political world.
Yep. It's just full of virtue signals. It's fucking annoying.
So when is Trump going to jail? Like,
I hope so.
I will eat my
for
foot
real.
if Trump spends a single day in
Please
jail
don't.
before he dies.
Please don't.
There is no shot he is going to jail.
Dude, what he did was so disgusting. Okay, can I bring what, bro? He went on Epstein Island as a judge, and he literally had his way with multiple underage. Like, what the fuck? That's just
Disgusting.
disgusting.
Yep. But he's trying to
But-
sue
Yeah, and,
anybody who says it. So
And he like
allegedly,
made them do it too.
Yeah, forced rape
Allegedly.
and then kill them. He
I
forced them.
read that about like the golf course. There were like he like buried kids over there or
Yeah.
something. Is that true?
We don't know.
We need him.
We don't know how
see.
true any of it is. Okay, guys, we
That's
are
what-
getting dangerously into very liable territory here, okay? Talking about
There,
killing the president is probably not good for my
I
stream.
am not.
Hey Jordan, if I stream on Twitch, would you like also open like my stream, like the Batman stream?
Of course.
Right. You can just open it and let people also see.
No.
And I can like play, make more content for you,
Yeah.
help you out.
Well, that's great.
Broadcast. Okay, I'll send you my link. Selective pumpkin.
Selective pumpkin. Like
That's one selective ass pumpkin.
You want to see my pumpkin?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
I'm just fucking with you.
Did you get nervous, Jordan?
A little bit.
How delightful. Love to see it.
All right. Where'd you put your link? Oh, you sent it to me?
And you do. Yes.
Cool.
King.
All right. Peace and go. Arkham Knight. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Pinned. There you go. Look at my chat.
Mm.
Hey, you
Me?
asked me to bring yours open? You don't have mine open?
I'll do it. Hold on.
You motherfucker.
I will do it. No, I thought like bring mine. Just people you second to watch for you, like more content
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
don't mean
Well,
anything.
right now I'm
but I will-
watching news stuff, but I have yours up, so you have the view. And if look at my chat, I pinned your link in the chat.
Oh. Let me check.
I'm in. Okay, I'm installing Kick. Send me your link as well.
Hey,
Sure.
let
I'm,
me
I'm
check.
also bring my other account.
Well, my link is right in the in general.
Oh, cool. I could follow you on there. Batman. Love me some Batman.
No,
Whoa.
Okay, I put
Get
your
my-
stream.
Gotta get my light turned on for you.
Shit, brother!
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother!
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh my god, baby. You're
Stop
so
it.
funny.
No. What the opposite of that?
Did you just say I'm the opposite of that? What up, Ghost Flakes? Nice.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I know. You're following me,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
You can't see my Batman light. I'll just have to hold it up for you.
I'm Batman.
No, I'm
I'm Batman.
I want to be Batman. We can all be Batman. Batman.
Okay, so ooh, Mo,
What?
look
I
at
got
look at her
my
light.
light on Discord.
Look at who?
Look in Discord. She's showing you something on camera.
Hold
My
on, I'm
little
on.
Batman light.
1 second.
He's in the middle of a Marvel Rivals game. Or no, in the middle of his Batman.
Oh, I love this.
Right? Isn't that awesome?
Yes, sir.
Try to get it to show up, but thanks for the luck.
My girl is kind of a badass.
No, a bat ass.
She's
I'll
kind
take
of
that.
awesome. Very cool. Let me tell you about her. She's amazing.
Don't listen to him.
Listen.
Hold on, let me just switch on PlayStation.
I love to hear the people scream.
What?
They're all fighting like crazy.
Rather invigorating.
Oh my god,
Does
baby.
something to my Harley Quinn heart.
Oh my god, baby. That's crazy.
Run, people, run in fear.
You ever gonna do a Harley cosplay, babes?
I mean,
Yes,
kinda,
the answer
I
is
could.
yes.
I could.
Any other answer
Okay,
than yes
sure,
is
sure,
unacceptable.
Sure,
Sure, yes, of course. Anything you say.
Anything you say.
No, that's it. Nice try.
I love how you knew exactly what I wanted. You were like, not
I am not
on
saying
the
that on
stream.
Yeah, I'd rather say something about Trump, is what I said
Oh
earlier.
my god, I love
Than
you,
that.
man. You're amazing.
Okay.
You're pretty great.
No, you're amazing.
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm not.
Shut up. No. Gringo got a very spammy text.
From you?
No.
From who?
Some rando. The person goes, "Do not leave any construction residue on my property." And
What?
Gringo says, "I'm gonna cover your property in construction residue."
Fuck yeah.
And then the guy goes, "You're a bad guy. I'm going to call the police." And then he said, "I've got buckets of residue ready, bro. I'm coming for your property."
obvious wrong number, right? How long is he gonna fuck with this guy?
I don't know. He said, "Is this mean to do to a wrong number?"
It's he's gotta screenshot it and like share it on Reddit. Tell him to screenshot it. Tell him I say
Okay.
he needs to screenshot it and share it on Reddit.
Okay. Oh, the things I've done to spam texters or like people who have the
Oh
wrong
yeah.
number.
I'm usually just like, well, yeah, the spam texters. I don't know. I just don't have time for it.
Sometimes I do.
I'll just be like wrong number, and then they'll always be like, wow, how amazing is it to get a wrong number and then you meet someone awesome, and I'm like, oh really? Is that what's happening? You scamming
Yeah.
motherfucker. You think I'm gonna
This
fall for
happens,
that
like, every
stupid
time.
shit? I just ignore
Yeah,
it at
sure,
that
I'll
point.
send you money.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
gonna
think is going to happen here? The last one said, oh, my assistant put in, like, the wrong number. And I'm like, oh, yeah? You have an
Oh,
assistant,
dear.
huh? And you're about to ask for money,
Yeah,
aren't
you
you?
probably don't.
Yeah.
Probably don't have an assistant.
Yeah.
I can assist you to hell. Hey, I gave you a follow, Selective Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll
You gotta
start
be more
streaming on
energetic when
Twitch.
you do your thank yous for the follows, bro.
He's busy.
You gotta be like, thank you so much!
Yeah, it sounds kind of slutty when you say it
Yeah, just a little slutty.
in general.
Sorry, he's
One
focusing on being Batman right now.
He is Batman. I wish I had a Batman emoji on here.
I'm
They
Batman.
didn't allow things. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
No. Ooh. Represent the bi people.
What?
Represent the pan people.
What is that? What are you doing?
I'm looking at all the Twitch, what do you call them? Emojis?
Samojis?
Emojis! Emojis. Emo. I'm an emoji.
Alfred
Oh, that's
was
a
in it.
good. That's good. That's gotta be an original thought. Twitch Unity, Twitch Lit. There's so many. This is a steep learning curve. Who the fuck are all these people? Ooh, they have a
There is
sloth.
steep learning curve.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Don't say yeah. Say fuck you. You're a
Papa
steep
Ross.
learning curve.
Oh, Kappa Ross. Like Bob Ross, but Kappa Ross.
Just paint a
Not
happy
like
little,
this.
happy little bush.
Corgi Derp.
It kind of depends on whose bush, though, if it's happy or not.
Oh, mercy.
Old people burning, old people burning. Put your hands up.
Okay, I gave you some emojis.
Thank you.
Of
Wow.
course.
That's a lot.
Alright, I'm fighting now.
Get it! Fucking kick their ass!
Wreck 'em. Eat 'em. Punch 'em. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this looks fun. I'd love to beat people up while I was Batman. Holy shit.
Excuse me?
You can do what.
It's
you can do what Batman
2026.
won't do.
It's 2026. That's Bat Person.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, I actually received that title of house person for one of my jobs.
Wow.
They were gonna call me a houseman, and then they gave me a printed name badge that said house
person?
Yep. I felt so validated.
How PC.
I know. Oh my, look at that. Oh! Y'all just got hit. No, he saved you. You saved
speak,
Officer
don't speak, don't speak.
Kevin.
Evening the odds.
Know just what you're saying.
He said evening the odds. That's just so fire.
Don't
Good. Ooh, look at him
tell me
jump.
'cause it hurts.
Damn, look at that landing.
Don't speak. I know what
The
you're
Batmobile.
saying.
Oh, it looks so good. Wow.
Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
Look at that metal. That's gorgeous.
I love Batman so much.
Oh, me too. I just watched all of them for the first time.
Batman.
Dark Knight forever. I mean, that Heath Ledger, though.
Yeah. That was sad.
The best. The best guy. He was the Joker.
You screwed around too much. Quit screwing around.
Okay. Okay, Dad.
Ghost Flakes, hi.
That's Mo.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
All right, let me finish this video
This
here.
is that he feels less bad
Oh,
when
yeah.
people killed are not Trump fans, right? I mean,
Right.
that's the only way to interpret it. You know,
Remember, we
the
beat
thing I
the
think
shit
is
out of
really
you.
interesting about his reaction and Caroline Levitt and others to the killing of Alex Preddy
Ooh, I can't miss
is
that.
that they seem to know deep down that this one is going to be hard to justify. I think both are tough to justify, but in the aftermath of the Renee Good, you know, there's the angle where the officer sort of makes contact with the car on purpose, and then that's used as
Oh,
a
damn.
justification for the shots that were fired. You don't
There
have
goes your
any
arm.
of that plausible deniability with this one, and so
None.
that's
Rip it
why
off.
initially it was assassin, domestic terrorist, but now when Levitt is asked about it, even Trump
This is
himself
hurting my
yesterday,
arm.
he goes, well, we're investigating.
If you're lying,
we're
I'll
investigating.
hurt
We
the
want to
other
get to
one.
the bottom of this because I think they all realize this one is not plausible.
I need to
Yeah.
start threatening
well, and the
people
other
with
way
that.
that Trump and his people went after, like Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem,
I know, rip your
referring to
arm
Preddy
off,
as an
literally.
assassin and a domestic terrorist and so on. It was absolutely disgraceful. It was character assassination after they murdered him. And one of the spokespersons who was just awful over at DHS was asked on Fox Business whether she agreed with the term domestic terrorist being applied to Alex Preddy, and she wouldn't even
D20
deny it.
has
Let's
Braille
watch
on
this
it.
to play this. I still can't believe this one after I heard it.
Trisha, is it
printed it.
just the feds investigating, or are you going to bring in local authorities for a full-scale investigation?
My understanding is right now Homeland Security investigators are leading this. FBI is supporting, and then there's a separate internal review at CBP as well. But Stuart, I have to say, this is a tragedy. Alex Preddy, his family are my prayers, and we want to get answers for him, his family, and for the American people
So
with utmost
inclusive.
transparency.
Now, Secretary Noem accused Alex Preddy of being a domestic terrorist. Is the administration standing by that language?
So initial statements were made after reports from CBP on the ground. That was a very chaotic scene. We know that our ICE law enforcement are facing rampant violence against them, a highly coordinated campaign. So that is why this investigation is so
Fuck you,
important,
Noam.
so that we can get accurate
Yeah, I
facts
mean,
What?
David,
Why?
I
to
mean,
the
the long
American
story short is
people.
she doesn't
Because she'd be
like
lying.
distance the department from
Yeah,
using
she's
that
a-
kind of language, and it's just
A nasty
disgraceful.
woman.
Yeah, and I
She's the C
can't
word.
believe I'm saying
Yep.
this, Jim, but Rand Paul has it completely
frankly.
right on the investigation
Quite
she's referring
frankly.
to, which is, wait a second, DHS and CBP are the ones investigating the
For the
actions by
Preddy?
DHS and CBP, which doesn't really. We've investigated ourselves and found
Wait,
that
are
we
you
acted
watching the
completely fine.
stream, the video?
This
He's
is
wa-
not.
well, he's
none-
playing,
None of this
so right now
has any
he's not watching.
seriousness attached to it.
Oh, okay.
No, and it
I'm
also
doing
makes me
both.
wonder if they're going to start searching around. They're undoubtedly trying to find something in Alex's background so they can say,
Jordan,
aha,
look at my
see, he was
D20
a
that we
radical. He
printed.
was this. He was that.
Well, I think they found it.
Beautiful.
It's
potentially.
got Braille on it.
I don't know if you heard this,
It's
that a week ago
lovely.
he had an encounter, or a week
So
prior to the
inclusive.
weekend's encounter. He had an encounter at a different
Probably see if anybody that's actually
incident
blind wants
where
it.
I guess he broke a rib. And so what I think they are starting to maybe think about going with, I don't know that it'll work.
I mean, it's got
He
Braille
was
on
there
it.
with a vendetta because of what happened a week prior. But the thing is, we have the video.
laced.
Either he pulled a gun or he didn't, and the video shows that he didn't, right? So I don't
Right.
think it really changes the story, but it's something they've got and they're kind of chewing on now.
Yeah, and Stephen Miller and his wife Katie Miller, they've been online trying to, distance themselves from Stephen Miller, saying that that Alex Preddy was an assassin and all of this stuff. But I mean, I looked earlier this morning; he had not taken those tweets down. They still have the tweets up, and that's beside the point. The point is they killed him. They killed him, and the reason why this is happening in Minneapolis is because Donald Trump promised a mass deportation campaign, and Stephen Miller has been his top henchman, telling and prodding DHS to go further, do more, don't stop. And to me, the responsibility for these deaths lies with them.
And on the other side of the ledger is all of the promises that were made about how this entire campaign was going to improve the country for the average person.
Right.
Which, by the way, none of it has happened. These immigrants, documented and undocumented, particularly undocumented, they're putting upward pressure on housing prices. If we can get them out, housing prices will come down. Hasn't happened. We don't have enough jobs for Americans because of these undocumented migrants. Once we get them out, prices are going to come down. hasn't happened. The crime rate will go down dramatically. The crime rate's been declining for 30 years, and there's been no inflection point since this program started a year ago. So whatever you think about the legality and the morality of it, which I think is an atrocity, but even if you don't have a problem with it, none of the outcomes we were promised are actually materializing after a year of this.
That's so true. And it's why he's in so much hot water with the public. It's why he was in Iowa last night, and they had these signs behind him saying lower prices. And I saw somebody make the comment, was this a plea from the people of Iowa begging Trump for lower prices? I mean, that thought crossed my mind too. And we have to talk about how the Democrats are dealing with this, David. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, put out a video going right after Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller.
You know what's funny? Even like actual tank, the Abrams, they use like a jet engine.
Oh.
Are you aware of that?
The Abrams?
Yeah, it actually uses a jet engine.
Huh. Honeywell Aerospace gas turbine. Yeah.
Because an actual engine will make it
it doesn't work the same way, obviously, as a turbine, because it doesn't have the air flowing that fast through it. But
it's insane how it can just go sideways. How those wheels turn. Right angles. I need that for my car. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip this.
Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller are fucking liars. Any administration that allows them to continue in office is rotten to its core. The vote on appropriations is coming up Thursday night, and Democrats will not let the Republicans move forward if ICE and DHS funding are in the...
Yeah, David, it looks like Chuck Schumer has gotten the memo.
You know, when the swears are scripted, they don't hit quite as hard. I have to say, when it's on a prompter. No, listen, I think the complexity with this is, it is true that DHS includes FEMA and TSA and the Coast Guard, and so it always ends up messy. It's like with the government shutdowns. We've got to shut it down on principle, but then people do suffer when there is a shutdown, and who ends up getting blamed. I don't think that Democrats are in an enviable position with regard to the levers that they necessarily have, and I think the North Star needs to be, in November, effectively end Trump's presidency by taking away control of the House. I think that that's a much more tractable and emotionally salient sort of thing. In terms of the short term in this bill, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me at this point, the Democrats have no choice but to vote down funding for ICE unless there are massive reforms put into place. And, you know, it also seems to me that it's not really, and I've said this on my show, that it's not really a vote for funding ICE. It's a vote for whether we're going to fund a secret police force in this country that acts with no accountability whatsoever. And they've been told that they don't have to worry about any kind of accountability. Stephen Miller has said that. J.D. Vance has said that.
What's terrifying is this was kind of predictable back when you got kicked out of the press room during Donald Trump's first term, in the sense of, the First Amendment exists on paper. We can go and find it. If you look up the Bill of Rights right now, it's there. Right. But the willingness to suppress speech was very visible, as you very well know, from Trump's first term. We had this video on my show today of this CBP officer saying, if you raise your voice, I will erase your voice, which is an incredible video. And this is the logical conclusion of giving another term to a guy who has shown himself to be so hostile to the First Amendment. And by the way, not that I'm a gun guy, but now it's even with the Second Amendment, where they are saying, well, he was there with a gun. There. Yes, that's legal. That's what you've been saying. Trump even said he had ammunition with him. Most people who have guns have ammunition. It's wild to see the justifications now.
Right, and I think people seized on it from a Second Amendment standpoint, which I totally understand that. That's why, a lot of people on the right went after him for saying that. But to me, my read of the way Trump said that is that he was excusing what the officers did.
That's right.
That he was basically saying, well, they killed him because he had a gun on him. And that doesn't wash. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works.
No, it's not. And that's what I told my audience was, this isn't really a change of Trump's deeply held beliefs about gun ownership, because I don't think he has deeply held beliefs about gun ownership, the same way that I struggle to believe he suddenly found Jesus at age 68 when he decided to run for president, or that he became anti-abortion when he was 68 and decided to run for president. I think all of it is, do I get credit or do I get blame? And the only way to argue that his ICE and CBP forces don't get the blame is to blame the person who was shot. And the only thing you can say, really, is, well, he had a gun on him, even if that's completely legal.
Right. And it seems to me this doesn't really end until they really do fire somebody. I mean, the whole thing with Greg Bovino, he's been, put out to pasture. He's going out to California to resume his old job and that sort of thing. And I guess now they're saying that some of the officers involved have been put on leave. I mean, that's the bare minimum. And it seems to me somebody needs to be fired. Kristi Noem, I mean, she's in charge of DHS. American citizens are getting blown away on the streets of our cities. How does she keep her job? In any other administration, she would have already been gone.
Yeah, I mean, in any other administration, this never would have happened, probably. So,
That's right.
so she never would have found herself in that situation. I do think someone is going to have to be fired. Trump was asked, is she doing a good job? He said yes. Is she going to quit? He said no. They're going to have to orchestrate an exit for somebody here if the political tide keeps turning against these operations, which it is.
No question about it. Well, David, I really appreciate you coming on and helping us mark 1 year of the show. How many years have you done your show? I guess I should ask that question.
Oh, I don't even want to say. It's like asking someone their age.
Let's see what else.
The Batmobile actually has a jet engine.
Yes, Batmobile has a hella jet engine.
Oh yeah. I want one.
A jet engine is just faster than a normal engine. Imagine when future supercars end up having a jet engine. That'll be crazy.
What's your age? 57.
Well,
Are you
it'd
single?
be pretty inefficient, actually.
Why?
A jet engine is like way too much power for what a car needs to do.
Can you repeat?
How did that turn?
Jet engine is way too much power for what a car needs to achieve. You'd be wasting a lot of fuel. It'd be insanely expensive. There's not really a purpose for it, unfortunately, because it would be cool as fuck.
For you.
A marriage and 2 children.
And then divorce.
And then divorce, yes.
How long was your marriage with your ex-wife? How do you know?
But haven't yeah, you're right. If you could take a look at like F1 and shit. Like F1, like Formula F1 cars, like they're pretty fast because it's lightweight.
Yep.
But it runs like on a fucking V12 engine or V16.
Like very special ones, so they're
very special one, and it's really banned. It's really banned. It's really banned to actually be in the street.
Insanely expensive too.
That's why I would like to drive one of them, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like to control.
Oh yeah.
Because speed is so fucking OP.
Big OP speed, the OPest of speed. You've never seen speed quite as OP as this speed.
Bro, please do not remind me of that prick.
I can't help it. It's my thing now. That's my thing now.
Bro, you will. Bro, I don't want you to become like him. Please,
I'm
I
not
beg
like
you.
him. It's just a joke. I mean, I'm not like him. It's making fun of him,
I know. But like, it's just
more than anything. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm seeing?
Yeah, you better not become like him. You won't.
I won't.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
A good Jewish boy.
Tries. Goodness.
Are you trying to say that magic isn't
You know the
real?
horizontal
I think it's
speed, like
because
where
you're
you're like, you know, trying to take a turn at a maximum speed. It's really gonna be hard for you to take a turn because
yeah.
you might end up crashing. That's just
Yeah.
basic physics.
Yep, that's why you gotta slow down when you're turning on the street. Because if you're going
Basically,
too
yeah.
fast, you're gonna either spin out or flip over.
You have to be a professional.
Well, even professionals have to slow down
Yeah.
to take turns. You know?
Has when you come to Miami, you see the real nature of women. It's
I'm
not
kind of
your
asleep. I
fault,
can't hold
buddy.
any conversation.
About 20
Sorry
years.
if I'm saying yeah.
No worries, dude. We're watching videos on my stream anyway. It's all good.
Go from having a whole family life to coming back out into the world as a single man.
So the thing I refer to as the ladder of love. People walk up the ladder of love when they're beginning a relationship. They say, "Oh, I really like you. I'll do this for you." The next person
the
says,
gaming
"Oh, if you do
and
that
the
for me, then I'll do this
politics.
for you. If you'll do this for me." Well, I'm not going to do that for you. Oh, well, then I'm not going to do this for you. And then I'm not going to do this for you. And then they walk down the ladder of love. And at some point, people reduce themselves to the passion and the love and that chemistry, that oxytocin, that thing that really draws you together. It begins to die. And if you don't have the basis for the relationship, things that you love to do together, then eventually you grow apart and you either become people who don't like each other, or you do what we did. You become like a brother and a sister.
Do you see yourself getting married to a woman again, or is it more of just a life partner thing from this point going forward?
So I haven't married a second time, but I'm looking for a wife.
Why even take that risk?
Hey, yo, this is because whenever he talks to people that are single or people that are broken up, he's like, yo, why did you give it up? And when he's with people, are you suffice with this? Like, it's like there's never like a happy sentence. You know what I mean?
So what he normally does is he asks women why they quit on a marriage. And then he asks men why they want to get married. Why not just be a life part? Why not do the high value man? He's actually being consistent. Is because you're not paying attention to the gender.
To who the gender.
Yeah.
Why even take that risk?
There comes a point in your life when you start asking yourself the question, what am I going to do for the time that I have left? And that's when you start viewing life very differently. You realize that there's a number of
Guy
days you
seems
have
like a
left to
real
live.
normal
But you
dude,
want to
and he's getting
decide
interviewed
how
by
to
a
make those days really
retard
count.
red
I'm
pillar.
not thinking anymore about how to build an empire because I did that. And so when you reach that point in your life,
You know, I want to understand why the word retard is really censored.
Who do I want to teach? Who do I want to mentor? What do I, want to leave as my legacy?
some people
And then
consider
you
it
say to yourself,
offensive.
who do I want to do that with?
When
a man loves a woman,
and things don't work out, I think a lot
What
of
was
times
censored?
people expect a whole better
Retard.
outcome. But what people also don't realize is that when divorce happens, men are like 60% more likely to get remarried. Not the women, men. You know, and for all the shit that marriage gets and how much people shit on it online, I realize
They're
it's almost
retarded.
exclusively
Yep.
really an online thing. And when men who are divorced are asked about marriage, they speak about it positively. Maybe not their last marriage, but the desire to want to be married is still there. And most of them do
Thanks
get
a lot.
remarried because as you age, the prospects of a single man are substantially worse than the prospects of a single woman. So online, y'all can live whatever y'all want to live. Y'all can, I'm gonna be with my homies. Your bed full of like male pubes. Congrats. Nobody in real life trying to do this shit.
let's move in together.
Yeah, folks get families, and then they move on. They're not kicking it like that.
Let's move in together with my homie.
Right.
No.
We got like 5 topics to cover today regarding why you should never live with your girlfriend. Oh, you could be the biggest, most, I guess, tallest, most masculine alpha out there. Oh, man, can we cuddle? And before you know it, time passes along and you're like, damn, you become I want to say the word cuck, but like you become kind of complacent because coconuts in Barbados. Yeah. Become like lazy in a way. Which I think is why you should live with your brothers or live with someone that's like a man because
Oh, hell no.
Oh yeah, vacation, sunshine on your skin.
If you want to be able to enjoy your vacation and go on a wonderful trip, which you should definitely do, I would suggest you to get a Surfshark VPN changer. Not only is a VPN enjoy message that the country that I'm in allows you to do that. Your computer, because if you change ain't that great, you go on Surfshark, enjoy those below and enjoy dual programming.
You can understand that. There's some people of
back to the regular scheduled programming.
He has his perspective of how he lived it, the latter thing. That's one way to see it. I can understand that. There's some people that function like that. I don't think that this guy is inherently wrong. He's not giving up on marriage and stuff like that. He didn't give up on marriage. The latter, I do this makes sense to some people in the way that people view relationships. That's not how I view it, but I get that a lot of, not even some people, a lot of people see it like that. He's not like, these women. He's like, no, I'm still looking. I'm good. He's not bitter about it. That's not a red pill, I would say. He's just like, yeah, you know what? It didn't work. It decreased the ladder, and then whatever. I'm going to look for something else. I'm going to look for a wife. The complication of a divorce, you can be bitter very quickly.
Listening to this guy, two things. The first part is this young man's like, why would you get remarried? He's thinking about it from the fear standpoint, the outcomes that are negative when you have some wealth and you get divorced. But if you listen to the man who's actually been through it, he don't speak with it with like this tremendous pain or whatever it is. He's looking towards the future and be like, oh, listen, I don't got much time in this world. Like, my days are numbered. So what am I here to do? He said, I wanted to mentor. Who do I leave my legacy to? Who do I help? He's not thinking about Hugh Hefner trying to fuck, because that's just not. That shit becomes less and less content and joy as you get older. The only thing this man's focused on is how does he give back. That's his words. And I identify with that because even in me in my 30s, I've already waned off of that shit so much. It's generally dudes who have some level of dysfunction in their life who are still on that like, fuck bitches, get money up. That's it. So it's just, when you listen to him, you can tell that he's ready to assume responsibilities and to really be a leader in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of men on a smaller scale as they get older identify with that. And I commend that. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it shows a lot of maturity. And I also want to give a bit of credit to the guy who's doing the interview. You know, we shit on him all the time because he does these interviews. He's always kind of goofy, and he's a goofy person. But here he is, not being biased and hiding this kind of interview. It's like, you know what? Even though this goes against the narrative that I have, let me just put it out there. And that's worth commending. And the last thing I'll say is, I understand the point of marriage is to be together forever, but that doesn't always happen. And I personally don't think that it's necessarily failure. Me personally. I know other people have a different view of it, but I could imagine plenty of scenarios where I'm potentially married with somebody for 20 years. You have all these happy marriages. You birth beautiful children. They grow up to be great people. Your ex-wife helped shape them in a lot of good ways, but you guys fall apart. Is that a failure? I don't know. I put that question to you guys. Would you guys inherently see that as a failure if you could imagine in those 20 years how many happy memories, how many great things, and see your partner reflected in your kids and being proud of your children? Is that necessarily a failure? I asked the question to you.
I saw a video about a basketball player, and it was always the same journalist that was asking the same question. He was kind of sick and tired of it.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. You asked me the same question last year, Eric.
And his response was good because they didn't have a good game. And the journalist was always referring to whatever he didn't have a good game as a failure.
But this game was way ahead of its time.
You're always talking to me about this failure stuff. What are you talking about? So I should throw the whole thing in the trash?
Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No.
We're gonna discard everything. We're gonna discard the whole.
Oh damn! These
relationship.
obstacles.
That's where you have to quantify the bitterness that you have in the relationship. You have to look back and look at the positive sides of it. Yeah. Even some people that I fell out.
I want this to be a Disney ride.
I could still see like, no, we had good moments.
Oh, except for that water thing.
Being covered is a bitch ass nigga.
Oh,
but like, we had some. Yeah, we
Boy,
had
the
some
acid
good,
water,
good
damn.
times. We can't go against that.
It's not acid water.
Call the whole
thing what was that?
But there's certainly
normal water. Hold on, let me just focus.
Yes, definitely. So the whole thing about the whole marriage as a failure or marriage is not good. Hey, something happened, it didn't work out, and then that's it. But I'm not ready to discard this whole thing or the whole career or the whole path that you went through. There's some rough patches, and sometimes the rough patches make it end. There was some rough, but it was good.
It was good. I think that's the mature way to kind of look. I'm not saying every marriage and every divorce is good, or but I'm just trying to say that these periods where things don't end the way that we wanted is not necessarily a failure. And branding it as such, I think, is just sad a little bit. And it sounds like that's not how he views it either. Because he speaks about her. He says, listen, we just went from being husband and wife to like brother and sister and best friends. We just don't have that romantic feeling. Is that a failure? I don't know. I think to me, I wouldn't view that personally. Of course, I'm speaking on the outside looking in, but me just listening to him and what he's saying, it doesn't sound like he views it as a failure.
I don't think it's a failure. I think it's a success. Yeah. If you become friends and you're still buddies, you understand that this is not your partner. You're able to laugh it out and just be like, "Hey, what up? We're not. We went from this to that, and it's fine. It's cool, but we're still cool. There ain't no feelings that are hurt. That's cool. I don't think it's a failure.
Yeah, and online, you know, we used to live in a world where marriage was just glorified and made this like perfect sanctimonious thing you could never. And then, you know, men came along in the more recent time and started speaking some of the downsides and some of the really horror stories that happened to dudes in regards to like how they're cleaned out by their wives or whatever. And that was also okay. But now we've gone to this place now where we've gone to the other extreme and just made some marriage like the worst thing in the world. And the reality is, like, if you look at all the numbers, if you look at a lot of the statistics, what it says is that men report higher levels of happiness when they're in a good marriage. Men report higher levels of income when they're in marriage, period. Meaning, I think they get like a 15 to 16% more. They're able to work longer hours. They have like a overall better quality of life. It's much more stable for the kids. And so when you think about all these things, these are also worth mentioning in the context. I'm not here to say marriage is the best or the greatest. I'm not trying to say none of that. I'm just trying to put a little bit more balance in the discussion because guys like this interviewer want to make marriage seem like it's just horrible and flat out dead. And it's just... understand the risks, understand some of the downsides, and then make the decision accordingly. But we have to be honest about what it is. And this guy, he has everything to lose. And what does he say? I want to be remarried. Ask yourselves, why are so many of these men in their 50s, going into their 60s, why do so many of them say, I would do it again if I could?
That's because that's a partner. That's a life partner. I mean, my girl hates when I call her a partner and slap her on the butt because she says, I don't play baseball with you. I'm your girl. You need to love me. All right, whatever. Rude. But... Boy, you're still a partner.
I mean, you said rude, but
what up, partner? Pap, yo, I don't play baseball with you.
Hey, put a little comment for Bart for his girl.
Yo, what you doing
for your wife?
Calm down.
For your
calm down. You're too happy about this shit.
Put some respect on my name,
dude. You're too happy about this shit. Shut up.
I am.
Yeah. Shut up. Okay.
You know what it's like?
I love the way I love.
You know what it's like? It's like when you bring your friend around your girl. And then all of a sudden they start bonding over something you did wrong. And you just be like,
yo, what in the betrayal is this? What is this? By the time I'm finished with you,
I put all you niggas in Pelican Bay. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I will have.
And it's important to highlight these. Everyone who gets online, they just be complaining about their relationships. And they always say bad. But it's like, not everyone got a beef with their ex-wife. Not every divorce is a horror story. Some of it is oftentimes for the better so both people can find happiness. And that's okay to say sometimes too. So, you know, just put a little bit of balance in the force, I guess. Anything else?
Nah.
All right, let us know what y'all think in the comments.
You can click on the link below and use promo code AB.
This is interesting.
Run into a transition.
Ooh,
YouTubers get
Dr.
injured.
Mike.
They have medical emergencies.
This looks fun.
And
fuck
Dr.
up.
Mike's not always there for them. But I will be in this video, so let's check him out.
Oh my god. No! This is so high, brother.
Sam, are you ready? Oh my god, Sam, don't do it.
I'm gonna die, dude.
Dude, you're
not
No,
gonna
that's
die.
not. That's too high. At least sit off the thing and jump. Oh my god. No, why? Why are they doing this? Oh! I felt the coccyx go. Oh my god, do you know how bad you can destroy your vertebrae here? Like the bones that protect your spine, the discs popping. Oh my god, this forces you. And he landed on his butt.
So guys, I got pretty hurt, but instead of, just sulking in sadness, why not make a YouTube video about it?
I mean, you have to go to the ER and get scanned and make sure that you don't have a lumbar fracture. I would venture to say maybe even image more of the spine than just the lumbosacral area.
Apparently I did break 3 of those little discs in my back. So technically I did break my back. Yay.
I'm assuming he means bulges in the discs.
About a month ago, I cut off the pinky and ring finger of my left hand.
Whoa.
This guard keeps your hand safe from the blade. I had raised it so that I could do tinier little cuts. That, of course, naturally puts my hand in a very perilous...
God, I'm just looking at his fingers and I'm so sad for them.
Then all it takes is for me to be working on some wood, and take a break for a second, get a notification, bing, what was that? Accidentally trigger it, and that was it. Immediately pain.
Yeah, so in a situation like that, you have to put really strong pressure and actually grab the fingers, not necessarily put them on ice, because putting them on ice could damage them as well. Throw them in a Ziploc bag, run to the ER, not literally run to the ER, but call 911 or have someone take you to the ER while maintaining pressure, because you could lose a lot of blood there.
So I grab paper towels, call the ambulance, 911, they're on their way.
Great.
Call Paul, he's downstairs, he comes up.
Great, all good first steps.
I'm just waiting here, holding the mess that is my hand.
And a little elevation would also help.
I reach down, pick up out of the sawdust the tip of my pinky finger. My hand gets an x-ray, my pinky gets its own x-ray. What the doctor has to say is that that little pinky bit that's covered in sawdust is not a clean cut, so it's gonna be hard to attach. There's not a lot of bone to attach it to.
Ironic that it's not a clean cut given how sharp the blade is. I think it's more of a lack of an attachment and because it's such a small part.
As for the other fingers, this one got sliced right through the tip, so there really wasn't much left. This one got cut up too, but it just needed to heal. I did lose the nail and some feeling at the tip, but otherwise it's gonna be okay. The first night was hard. They don't lie to you when they talk about PTSD. Like that moment just replays over and over in your mind.
This is a situation, and again, I can't know all of the facts, so I'm speaking more broadly than this specific scenario. When we say PTSD as often as we do colloquially, we have to understand that PTSD has a set of diagnoses, has a set of rules to make the diagnosis. Having a traumatic situation happen, having it replay in the short term, is part of the normal trauma response and not necessarily PTSD.
I remember counting down to 1, and then next thing I knew, I was on the ground and my arms were entirely black. These aren't sleeves, these are all bandages. They used to be all the way up, but this one's healing pretty good. The rocket launcher basically exploded.
Man, this is the second time we're reacting to YouTubers having a terrible issue with weapons. This goes to show how dangerous that is.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my God.
Dude, I can't even see my helmet leave frame. I know.
I mean, obviously, I'm
Oh
concerned,
my God.
forgetting about the burns, I'm concerned about the chest, the heart, the trauma from that aspect, the brain being absolutely rattled by that.
Call 911.
Oh, what
do we do?
See, like he's getting up. We needed him to actually stay down and just wait for help, support him and calm him down.
The first thing I saw when my eyes met your face was your jaw definitely got shoved somewhere it's not supposed to be. The lower part of this part of your jaw had moved out and it was pushing your skin out some, and the bottom part of your jaw, what's that bone there? Is that the mandible?
Yep, that is the mandible.
The whole bottom part of your face was a bit sideways.
So it either shifted because of a fracture, the ramus here, or because it actually came out of its socket and it was temporarily dislocated.
So, it started normal.
Yeah.
I mean, rocket's moving. We can see some
gold
propulsion
creature?
coming. So, it like,
is
it didn't
that?
instantaneously malfunction.
If it instantaneously malfunctioned, he'd probably be dead, I assume. And he had a helmet on, thank God.
TBI, a traumatic brain injury, a temporal skull fracture.
never seen
Wow,
that.
that's the side of his brain, the side of his head.
Causing a brain bleed. Cheekbone was broken in 2 places.
Zygomatic
Jaw may have been like dislocated or misaligned. Anywhere from 10 to 15% of my upper extremities were 3rd-degree burns.
See, that's that body surface approximation. This is the formula.
You're
that we
killing
use, Rule of nines.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh! Oh
That
my
guy's
God,
lucky to
surfers
be
impressed
alive,
me so much.
honestly.
Like, I have zero
Yeah.
capability to do that. Wow. I have so many injuries probably from the waves, from the reefs, from the sharks. I'm sure there's like some sea porcupines or something. Oh God, the musculoskeletal injuries. I'm sure there's concussions too, because hitting water at that speed really bumps the head.
I don't know what just happened. I just wiped out really bad. I must have been going left. Got a big cut on my head.
The problem with hitting your head is there's a lot of vasculature there, so small capillaries, that if you make a cut there, you're bleeding a lot.
I just hit my head on the reef and I don't remember anything.
Oh, that's a serious concussion then. If he doesn't remember the accident, definitely don't go back in the water. Definitely take a few weeks off. Follow proper concussion protocol with a gradual return to sport.
Emergency.
He's going to get some sutures. I would probably assume that they're not going to do sutures. They'll probably do staples.
We're just gonna pull up here and probably get some staples, maybe a scan on my head.
I would probably encourage a scan in a
That's
scenario
why a
like
lot
this
of divers
because of
die.
the mechanism of
Yeah.
injury. It was a very hard wipeout. He did lose consciousness, doesn't
What's up, buddy?
remember. All of those are flags enough for me to warrant a CAT scan.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Did it hurt?
So that's just a little saline wash. They're washing out the wound. And the reason we use staples is because the staples can actually hold the wound together quite well. And with a staple remover, they remove even easier.
When can I go back in the ocean?
I would say dry for 24 hours.
What? 24 hours? I would say do not go in the ocean until cleared by your physician. You just had a rough concussion.
Much last Sunday, I was with Jeremy. We were filming a TikTok at the park. Texted me, he's like, yo, let's film a TikTok. And I was like, bet, let's do it. So we went to the park, we met up. We were gonna film mine first, then Jeremy's. While in the process of filming the TikTok, I was like, yo, like it'd be cool if I jumped off this playground and did some 360 trick shot for this TikTok. I'm like, cool, let's do it. It's gonna be really easy. So I climb up the playground, I get on top of it, I'm looking down, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad.
Oh my God, I'm worried about his ankle or his knee. Oh my God.
So I jump off, I do some like 360 with
Oh
this
my
Nerf
God!
gun in the
Oh my
air.
God! I'm gonna try and pause it to decide what's gonna happen. Because his foot is plantar flexed, that puts it in an unstable position, making it more likely to tear his anterior talofibular ligament. But also how his knee is bent also puts it in a precarious position. Ah, it's knee or ankle.
Going to land, as you guys can see right there.
Oh, the ankle. So there is a ligament on the medial side of your ankle known as the deltoid ligament. The thing with the deltoid ligament is that it's a very strong ligament. And what usually happens is if you experience the trauma strong enough to break that ligament, odds are that ligament avulsed a piece of bone. It's like broke off a piece of bone. And usually that requires surgery.
I was terrified. I was like, dude, my ankle snapped. I'm not gonna be able to walk for so long. Luckily, it didn't look like anything, but it hurt so beyond bad. I was like, dude, Jeremy, we have to go. I rushed to the hospital. I got there, had me waiting for like 2 hours in the lobby with a broken foot.
I know people say like waiting 2 hours, the broken foot is ridiculous, but there's people whose hearts have stopped.
Yeah, like-
they need emergent surgery. So yes,
Like,
broken
oh,
foot sounds
boo-hoo, your broken foot. There's someone fucking dying.
terrible. but sometimes triage needs to happen in a different order.
They then took me
To
back
the
and gave me an X-ray.
asylum.
Doctor walked up with my results. She took me to a back room and she sat me down and said, "Hey, your ankle is actually broken." And I was like,
Nice.
no. All the
That's
stuff I
fun.
do requires my foot. So yeah, they're telling me that I should just need a boot, but I might need a cast.
Hard to know with that. You're definitely going to need a consultation with a foot and ankle specialist. The ER doctor probably wouldn't tell you that. They'd put you in a boot and then send you to an orthopedic specialist.
Have you ever broken bones before, baby?
No.
No, me neither. I mean,
Knock
at
on
least that I've had to
things.
go to like the hospital
You
for
have?
or anything. I've probably fractured fingers playing sports when I was younger, but
Oof. I mean, I sprained my finger once.
Like
but that was because a car smushed me.
Like I have a couple fingers that click because I probably fractured them a little bit, but I never like it did anything about.
Oof.
Just got back out in the game.
Oh no, is Logan biohacking?
Get my
Run
own blood
off,
sucked out of
run
my
in
body.
transition
Look,
directly
it's
to
trash.
the-
It's over there in those trash bags.
That's plasma, bro. It's trash. I mean, I know he's joking, but I hate these med spas that make all these ridiculous claims with zero knowledge of what they're actually doing. Do you know your body naturally does this and you don't have to pay for it?
I'm getting rid of the toxins. I'm flushing all the bad stuff out.
Liver, kidney, even lungs are considered a detoxification organ. And they work so well. So much better than a machine. There's so many signals that they're reading that the machine can't even comprehend those signals. For example, when it comes to blood pH, your body does such a good job regulating it that it's within decimal points of accuracy. You're doing great. Your organs are crushing it for you.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
This is the human equivalent of an oil change.
No, it's not a human equivalent of an oil change. A car does not fix itself. The human body is self-sufficient. That's why the body is a miracle. It's amazing.
I think health is wealth. I think you guys might know I want to live till I'm 150 years old.
I'm gonna have to break the bad news. I'm gonna have to break the bad news to Logan Paul that he's not gonna hit 150. Him and Brian Johnson.
We just feel like making this video would be the best way for you guys to understand what exactly happened in the past couple of days. So about a week ago, my stomach started hurting a little bit. 2 days later, the pain was still there and it was actually getting a lot worse to the point where I was losing my appetite and I was feeling extreme discomfort in my stomach.
The way that I like to teach folks to think about medicine, and I do
To
this
the
with my
assignment.
students and residents all the time, is as soon as we get the beginnings of a history, to already start twirling in your mind what is the leading thing on your differential, which is the list of diagnoses that could be to blame for the current situation. So I believe he's 20 years old or 20-ish years old, 2-day history of stomach ache that's not improving in someone of that age, knowing nothing else
Three
about
stars.
past medical history, family history. The top of the list so far, because the severity isn't quite there, is gastroenteritis,
Oh, yeah.
like a viral gastroenteritis, which is basically a stomach bug. But now, depending on the development of symptoms, like where specifically it hurts based on the physical exam, based on nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, we could start making that differential grow and in different directions. So for example, if there's right lower quadrant pain, you're thinking appendicitis. More diffuse pain, perhaps there could be a colitis, which is basically an inflammation due to an infectious cause of the colon. If you're feeling the pain in your epigastric region, which is the middle upper portion right here, could be related to acid. Right upper quadrant could be related to gallbladder and gallstones. Again, pretty young and body habitus for that to be the case. But again, that's just how the medical mindset works here. But let's see what we find out next.
That night, I actually completely lost my appetite and I was feeling extremely nauseous because I hadn't eaten anything in the last day or so. I was vomiting fluids and a little bit of blood.
So that's already a little concerning. Nothing really to panic about, but worth getting medical care for. Because in a situation like this, you're having trouble keeping fluids down. And when it comes to not eating, if you don't have an appetite because you have a stomach bug for a day or two, it's not the end of the world. But if you can't hold down fluids, that could put you at risk for dehydration, which could put you at risk for kidney issues, cardiovascular issues.
I understand
so at that
now.
point, you'd want to go be evaluated by a doctor. He did mention that he had some
Take me home
blood
to
in
the
his
asylum.
vomit. It depends on the quantity of the
Like
blood that
Joker,
was
so
noticed.
funny.
Sometimes there's a tiny amount of blood noticed from the straining during the vomiting. And then if there's a tremendous amount, there's actually such thing as Borheif syndrome, where through bearing down and vomiting quite profusely, you could actually tear your esophagus.
When I got to the hospital, they ordered a CT scan and actually found that there was some fluid in my pelvis and my appendix was actually leaking and inflamed.
So what he's describing is appendicitis, and very frequently when there's appendicitis and you have inflammation, edema also forms, and that edema is representative
appendicitis
of
when I was in
acute
high school.
appendicitis, which can warrant either urgent surgical removal
Wait,
or
did you get it
perhaps
out?
antibiotics, or sometimes both.
I immediately drove him to another
Scar's
hospital
still there,
where
I'll
he
show
would
you.
receive immediate
Not
surgery.
now.
On the way there, that's when his appendix actually bursted, and I'll never forget this moment because
Normally
I've never
the way
seen
they
that.
do it is they like do couple small holes and just do it from the outside. But apparently mine had flipped to the other side of my intestine, so they actually had to cut me open. Yeah.
Alex in this much pain in my
Sorry.
life. His
That's
face
okay.
turned pale.
Fire
He was
is a long
shaking,
time
He
ago.
was sweating. He was screaming
Yeah.
at the top of his lungs.
What he's describing is a septic picture, because what happens when the appendix bursts is you have this overload of
Yeah, I was in Argentina. Actually, my grandparents died kind of shortly after that. Pretty sad.
bacteria
Sorry
into
for your
the
loss.
abdominal
Timing.
space,
Yeah,
and
I
that
miss
abdominal
them.
space starts creating a massive inflammatory response, and you develop what's known as an acute abdomen. In a scenario like that,
Well,
it's
I
a
still
surgical
got all
emergency. We got to get
Lucky.
you to the ER for an operation
They
as
love
quickly
you
as
up.
possible.
After the surgery, there were a lot of complications
Yeah.
because he didn't have any food.
Guess we'll
for
find out.
days.
Alright, chat. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night, everyone.
Alright, good night, brother. Miss ya. Talk to you
In
soon.
fact, usually before surgery,
Sweet
we would like
dreams.
for you to be NPO, without food by mouth, for at least 8 hours. I'm not sure if that's just factually accurate.
He kept waking up and passing out because he was just so dehydrated.
I'm sure he was dehydrated by mouth, but remember, when you're getting IVs, the hydration is still happening. And the good part about IV hydration is it's very rapid, very quick. I'm sure he was dehydrated to some degree, but that hydration happens very quickly, and any potential acute kidney injury repairs quite quickly because he's young and otherwise healthy. And again, IV hydration works quite well. These are incredible survival stories. Click here, check them out, and as always, stay happy.
Let's see. What shall we watch now? Ooh, circus emergencies. I'm feeling just some
Let's take a
fun
look.
Dr. Mike right now. I'm enjoying. I love
Can
his
diagnose
content.
some of the most incredible circus
I also love watching him
daredevil stunt
debate.
acts when they go wrong. This is going to be
Even
tough to
though
watch.
YouTube gets mad at me when I do because they're like, "Oh, you're spreading COVID misinformation." I'm like,
Where?
I'm literally watching somebody debate against COVID misinformation, and I'm making commentary that's on his side. You absolute, never-ending fucking
Dumbass.
retards.
Yeah.
For human cannonball Hermes Zampurla, it's just another day on the job.
Imagine that's your job. What do you do? I get shot out of a cannon. I guess they probably say they're more like an adrenaline artist or a high-flying act stunt person.
And Hermes cheerfully waves goodbye to the crowd before disappearing into the firing
I
chamber.
hate that we're watching it right now.
He hears the usual countdown.
Oh no.
And feels the old familiar jolt. But then,
Oh.
Okay, mechanism of injury. He broke his
Oh,
coccyx and nothing else.
no.
Because momentum carried him forward, he actually slid quite well, that it might not be that bad.
That's
he
lucky.
overshoots his airbag and crash lands on the hard-packed earth.
What happened?
He did hit the back of his head. That's going to lead to some concussive symptoms, maybe.
Oh,
His
I
back is
just
broken,
shattered
and
human.
he has a severe head injury.
I watched that video and I don't know
That's
how
it.
I'm not dead or I'm paralyzed from the
Oh,
neck down.
I could
can't
just
remember
see it
nothing
break.
of the accident. Or
Oh
anything.
my
When he says
God.
his back is broken, he had a head injury. That is in line with what we thought. But
feel
I'm
too good
curious if it
about
was
this.
his tailbone that broke.
Oh
Tailbone or
my
pelvis. I would
God.
have been very surprised if it was something more than that. He could have had compression fractures elsewhere as well, though.
What you're about to watch may be difficult for some viewers.
Oh
The
no.
acrobat falls.
Oh my God, that's such a bad fall. I saw the back. Remember, mechanism of injury is one of the most important things that we look at. And he hit himself right in the thoracic region. There could be broken ribs, broken thoracic vertebrae. There's just a lot of pain
Baby, did you see that?
Yes.
there. A lot of blunt force trauma.
This was disgusting.
Collapsed lung, cracked 3 ribs, crushed vertebrae, and a little crack in my spine.
Mechanism of injury checked off every injury that occurred. I said vertebrae fracture, which is spine, cracked rib, and then the rib ended up poking and collapsed his lung, which I didn't say, but is assumed when you break a rib. And compression fractures are very unique in their pain. They take a long time to heal, and we've actually used some unique treatments to combat some of that pain, including calcitonin nasal sprays. Pretty interesting mechanism of action on how those work. Oh no.
This morning, this video being made public.
Why do I feel like this is like an amateur group getting together and trying this high wire act for the first time?
It shows the gut-wrenching moment the Flying Wallendas.
Oh, it's the Flying Wallendas. They're like the most experienced tightrope walkers. Actually, you know I have a video with Nick Wallenda? Really? Yeah, we shot a commercial together. It's not just me and Nick Wallenda. It's also Mr. T.
8-person pyramid lost their balance and toppled off the wire.
Oh my
5 members of the circus act plunging several stories to the ground. The 7th-generation family of wire walkers were practicing the new stunt with no safety net, admitting that terrifying fall gave him a taste of PTSD.
PTSD, this is terrible. Why is there no safety equipment? I don't care how talented you are. Put some padding on the floor.
He said the fall was so bad, it made him consider quitting the high wire for good.
That's actually why fear is instilled in our brains as humans to prevent us from walking high wire and losing our lives. Sometimes we can get really good control of it where we can do amazing things, but sometimes it can lead us astray, like when we fall down during situations like this.
My mouth is wired shut. I broke every bone in my face.
Oh my God, she fell on her face. This is why basic, at least, safety equipment needs to be there. Jaws wired shut usually happens as a result of some mandibular or maxillary fracture, and they do something known as mandibulomaxillary fixation, where they actually wire the jaw shut to allow it to heal properly. This can be to 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 2 to 3 months in extreme cases. Something sick that was done in like the 1970s and 80s, wiring people's jaws shut in order to have them lose weight. Those studies were a failure because as soon as their jaws were unwound and opened,
They started
put the weight
eating
back on
Yeah.
because it was kind of an abusive way for them to lose weight. So can't believe they even tried that.
When the curtain dropped to reveal 8 members of the Medeiros Hair Hang Act, this was not supposed to happen.
Oh my God! First of all, the Hair Hang Act is
what?
really impressive.
Not supposed to happen.
Oh my!
8 members of the Medeiros Hair Hang Act, this was not supposed to happen.
Oh my God! First of all, the Hair Hang Act is really impressive because human hair is pretty strong. It has a good tensile strength. I remember a study came out that tested thicker hair, like elephant hair, versus human hair. And elephant hair is like 4 times as thick as human hair. And yet, human hair was stronger. Like a single strand of human hair can hold like 100 grams. That means like 10 human hairs can hold up a kilogram, which is like 2 and some odd pounds.
The injured were put on stretchers at the scene and taken immediately to Rhode Island Hospital.
Yeah, you gotta put C-spine stabilizers right away because if you have any instability of the vertebrae because they're broken, that's very dangerous because if you misposition them in some way, you could actually end up damaging the spinal cord so much so that you can have the person end up with paralysis, either paraplegic or quadriplegic or even to death. It could be that severe if it's high enough.
Rhode Island officials are now blaming the accident on a clamp, something called a D-ring, that apparently broke. It was attached to a cable, and when it gave way, the whole apparatus came apart.
Oh my God, they really do swing on their hair. So maybe that 100 grams is quite true because the average person has 100,000 strands of hair on their head. That's why it's normal to lose about 100 a day. I'm sure they're losing more than 100 a day because they're abusing theirs. But for the average person, if you see like 100 throughout the day, you might think it's a lot. It's pretty normal, actually. What is this? Oh, I thought these are robots. These are real people? Stop! Oh my God, it's on fire! Burns are so bad because not only are they life-threatening in terms of organ damage, but you also get these really dramatic electrolyte abnormalities and dehydration because having formidable skin on you actually prevents you from dehydrating.
Boy, somebody made a mistake at the
Oh no, oh no.
surface. Watch this.
He hit his head.
Cycle rider hit a cable high.
Oh, it's a cable. That's so incredibly dangerous. It poses such a risk of decapitation. That decapitation is not only brutal, but you're gonna see so much blood because the carotid arteries are gonna just keep on pumping for at least a few seconds, and you're gonna get massive blood flow.
He broke his leg, wrist, elbow, and shoulder, but promises to get back on his bike once he recovers.
That's incredible
That's
that nothing
crazy.
more happened than a few broken
That
bones.
decapitation.
Wow.
This is a training session filmed as Ann Eckes climbs on the back of Shamu. Halfway around, Ann slips, and Shamu spooks.
Oh no.
Is
Shamu angry?
Immediately to free Ann, but he's no match for this 4-ton whale.
Is she a trainer?
In training.
Shamu surfaces, but Ann's leg is locked in his powerful jaws.
Oh, no!
A handler pushes a pole down on the whale's tongue, and he lets go.
Oh, my God.
Ann's alive, but will need 25 stitches.
25 stitches and
That's
definitely
it?
some sort of therapy. That was so scary.
Yeah, like she's lucky she doesn't. Her leg's still attached.
God.
Holy
This feels
shit!
just so unnecessary. And like animals are beautiful, and yes, we want to get kids excited about them. There's got to be a better way.
Ken Peters, an experienced trainer, is swimming with a 5,000-pound female named Kasatka, an animal he's worked with for years. With no apparent warning, the killer whale grabs his feet and pulls him underwater for close to a minute.
Yeah.
Then it brings him to the surface where the trainer pets the whale, tries to calm it, only to be yanked down again.
And a minute is reasonable, but remember, when your heart rate is through the roof because you don't know what's going on, you're burning oxygen a lot faster. That's why he's trying to stay calm as much as possible. Because the more you stay calm, the more you keep your heart rate lower, the less oxygen you're actually using. Oh no, what's about to happen? Is this a person participating? Deadpool?
Oh my god.
I wonder what's being said. Is he gonna throw his back out trying to lift him or something? Oh my god. Who is he looking to?
Oh,
my
no.
god, he knocked him out cold. How is that supposed to go? That looked absolutely terrible, and he clonked his head on this really hard surface right away. I mean, remember, the brain sits in a soup, so when you get this kind of torsion on the axons and you get axonal injury of the brain, that's what causes these types of inflammatory concussion-like symptoms inside the brain. And those can last for weeks at a time. Oh my god, don't carry him like that. That is terrible way of handling the situation. You're not stabilizing the spine, you're not making sure that they're on a backboard. That is an unforgivable act for that show. Yes, sometimes things go wrong, but sometimes we get real life rescues caught on camera. Click here to check that out, and as always, stay happy. Doctors aren't always fans of roller coasters, water parks. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, especially for me because I'm scared of heights, but let's check it out.
Caught on camera, a carnival ride in India became far more
Oh, I think I saw this. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Video shows the ride.
Oh my god. This is why I don't go on community rides. Like, no way. There, the biggest thing, obviously, head injuries, because you're hitting your head back, whiplash injuries, but also compression fractures of the vertebrae that line the spine. That's very painful and dangerous because it could lead to compression of nerves, which can create long-lasting symptoms or even lead to paralysis.
The ride fell about 50 feet.
Wow.
Carnival organizers are blaming the accident on a technical issue.
Well, what is the other issue? What is this? Is this like a... Oh! Did he let go? What happened?
State inspectors say the leg straps were not buckled and this was simply operator error.
The fact that that child survived that head injury down to the ground is a miracle. I can't tell you, when I saw that, I felt beads of sweat start to pile up on my scalp because I thought that was it.
Trash.
Child suffered broken bones, collapsed lung, and a brain injury. Yeah. Blessed. That's all it was, based on the concrete fall. How is there no padding on the ground? You gotta put padding.
Terrifying moments on opening day of this water park in California.
Oh my God,
Morgan
water
Jay's
parks freak me
birthday
out. And
today.
there's all sorts of physical injuries that can happen, but with water parks, you gotta know it's a brewing ground for contamination,
wait.
for bacteria and stuff.
Was it
Swimmers
neighbor
ear,
Rooney
otitis
who
externa,
told us
you
about
can get
Morgan
all sorts
Jay?
of
I hope
infectious
he comes
stuff.
by tonight,
Legionella,
'cause
E. coli, Shigella,
we need to let him know.
norovirus, Giardia.
Yeah, we should.
There's so many bugs that could potentially be in water parks. Now, if they're properly sanitized and all the rules are perfectly followed to the T, there's much less risk, but you still gotta be careful.
Watch as this 10-year-old boy plunges down this slide before he tumbles off onto the concrete.
That's a lot of lacerations. Why don't they make them a little bit more padded?
Three-story slide called the Emerald Plunge is part of the Bay Area's brand new $43 million water park called The Wave. The attraction featuring 2 tracks with 80-degree drops.
80 degrees, that's straight down minus 10 degrees.
Here you see the boy shooting down the green slide, and as he gets near the bottom, he flies up.
What did he do wrong? He's even holding the proper position.
Over the edge and rolls onto the ground.
And that hyperextension of his spine, it could really compress those nerves that come
concrete?
out on either end.
The child suffered some bad scrapes and was briefly treated at a nearby hospital before being released.
What a lucky, lucky child. I want to know what went wrong, though. They're opening a new thing. They must have tested it, no?
8-year-old Evie Evans says she was riding Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California.
Oh, shit.
I already
love
don't
that
like the name.
coaster.
There is nothing magical about this mountain. It scares my poor little sensitive heart.
When she was hit in the face by a cell phone that was
I
dropped
think
by
we've
another
been on that
passenger
one.
on the ride.
Wow, but I mean, can you blame the ride for that? You have to blame the other passenger. That's terrible. And by the way, phones, I don't know if you've ever been laying upside down and looking at your phone and then lose
We
the
love
grip and
it.
hits you right in the cheekbone. It can literally cut you. Hard surface, hard bony surface, skin in between, cut.
Evie needed stitches to close a gash on her forehead.
Lucky it didn't hit her in the
That
eye.
sucks.
You can lose your vision like that.
Dropped the phone.
Is this flash
That's
now?
why they make you put them in the boxes.
Oh, this looks like a bad idea. This is terrible. This is literally
And then they're gonna get
a
in trouble
concussion
for
waiting and drowning waiting
Oh my
to happen.
God.
Why?
What happened?
Is this an accident or is this meant to happen?
That looks like an accident.
Oh man, ziplines scare me.
That's way too fast. Shit.
Oh no.
Valentina también se fuera parado. No, Valentina sí es la primera.
Oh my
my
god, my
God.
heart just sank. Minor injuries?
Oh my God. That's
Hey,
so
hey,
lucky.
hey.
He must have fallen in trees or something.
It looked like the rope broke. How did...
Yeah.
Man, children survive the wildest accidents. See, there's like a fine line between managing risk, like when kids go on a playground and fall and get scrapes, like some of that is not a bad
Groundhog
thing. 'Cause
Day.
you need to learn from how far you could push your
It
body and
is,
how
that's
far
true.
you can take risks and managing those risks. It's all part of the development of the brain that's important. But then like, do you really need to go in the middle of a mountain ziplining? Like, I just wouldn't do it. Like I've done it before and I've regretted doing it the whole time.
But it did happen to Claire Clark. She was taking a trip down the corkscrew, a towering covered slide that twists and turns before touching down in the splash pool. Clark says to help get a start, she grabbed the top of the slide as she pushed herself in.
And my ring that I was wearing caught on something. I don't know if it was, you know, I guess it was on the slide, I'm not sure. And it took my finger away with it. It looked like there was bone there, and that
Yeah,
was it.
6 more weeks of winter.
And they couldn't reattach it?
Doctors were forced to amputate what remained of her
Groundhog
finger.
It's
size
really hard
shadow.
to reattach fingers, but it can be done because there's a lot of small blood vessels, nerves, joints, tendons. So
I
even
knew
if they
it.
could reattach
Snow
it,
is
would it be
coming.
functional?
I mean, you looked at the thing, and it looked like it was something out of like a Bugs Bunny or a Roadrunner cartoon where they just made a loop and said, yeah, there's our ride.
Some lunatic clearly just was like, build me a slide that's like that. And then they didn't consult anybody who had a background in engineering.
What? You should not do that. This is like worse than Jackass.
And it just takes you. All of a sudden, you're going really, really fast. The loop was fun, and yes, it hurt.
you know, going through the loop and having your nuts get smashed on a, you know, a fiberglass tube.
You think it's fun to get your nuts smashed on a fiberglass tube? That is not my idea of fun.
So they sent a couple other people down, and when those people came down, they came down with lacerations. They couldn't figure out why these people had lacerations from a giant loop. Then they took the loop apart and they found teeth stuck in the padding from the first couple people.
This is like a full-on horror story. Teeth? Teeth inside of a water slide? Where are the parents of these children? How are they allowed to sign consents for forms like this?
It's supposed to be scary, but not this scary.
Oh my
Watch
God.
Dallas resident David Salmon use his arm to try to steer himself down a slide near Austin, Texas.
Oh, did he dislocate his arm?
Nope, he fell over the side.
It's even normal speed.
Everyone's reaction when they're filming is the same. Phone down.
David posted on his Facebook page, "Too dang old to be going down water slides. Fell off this one that is over a rocky cliff. Broke my arm and fractured ribs. Multiple lacerations."
Again, lucky.
In 2017, a brave man plummeted to the ground while trying to rescue children trapped in a gondola. 25-year-old Albert Irvin climbed the Ferris wheel to save them.
They need a firefighter.
But as he freed the gondola,
He actually fell pretty
okay.
decently.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure he
okay.
injured his arm, maybe his elbow, definitely
But
broken there,
overall,
maybe
he's
even a
okay.
rib. But otherwise, not the most dangerous of falls.
and incredibly, he survived with just a broken finger.
Wow, amazing.
In 2016, 11-year-old Lulu's scalp was ripped off in a carnival accident. That's
Aw,
Lulu in
Mother.
sunglasses. She was happily riding on the King's Crown with her friends in Omaha, Nebraska. Then her long red hair got caught in the mechanism.
How does any human, after watching this video, still want to go to a theme park and ride rides?
Lulu's scalp and forehead were repaired using skin grafts.
That's so scary. That's why they say no loose clothing, but goes to show how strong hair is. It'll take the skin right off with it.
A day at the amusement park turned terrifying
Oh, no, when it
a
gets
ride
stuck.
put people upside down for nearly 4 hours.
That's a long time. That's a lot of gravity having blood pool in the veins. Oof.
Oh my goodness.
You could get nauseous, throw up, pass out.
Kids enjoying the July 4th holiday
And hot. You gotta remember July 4th's peak heat.
were stranded when the ride stopped mid-air. Cheers erupted from below when the rescues started.
It took 4 hours to get a ladder.
The last rider was finally brought to safety 4 hours after the ordeal began.
It was the first
I
ride
did have a
13-year-old
dream
Caitlin
of that
Lassiter
roller
and her
coaster.
friends rode.
Hmm.
The Superman
Jeez.
Tower of Power.
Oh my God, the names of these things.
I remember something else fell on us, which was more cable. We even had cables around our necks, and we pulled
4
them off.
hours.
Something hard hit our heads, and then we dropped.
Did the whole thing just fall apart and snap?
One of the ropes had wound its way around both of Caitlin's feet. This shattered her left femur and severed both of her feet.
Femur, that's one of the strongest bones in the body.
Her feet had now been completely cut off from the ankles below.
Oh my.
At the hospital, the doctors were able to reattach Caitlin's right foot.
Wow.
But her left foot was too badly damaged to restore and had to be amputated below the knee.
The fact that she lost her leg, I mean, is terrible, but you could so easily lose your life when you're that high up. Because these roller coasters are based on creating fear, and you create fear with heights and speed, and heights and speed equal medical problems if there's no way to break that speed. Those were some accidents. Here's some amazing lifeguard rescues. Click here to check that out. And as always, stay happy and healthy.
No, I'm not ready for rescues. I want more injuries.
The Olympics Summer Games are upon us, and apparently there's been some injuries that have happened. Sam put them together for me. I'm scared, but we're gonna learn something together. Let's get started. Uh-oh. These spins, these dismounts, this is where the danger comes in.
Quite get to the vertical for the last move, but on the high bar, she's working quickly, efficiently.
I feel a dismount is coming.
Oof. Oh dear.
Concussion, broken nose, zygomatic arch fracture. I hated the way she was rolled over. If she had a cervical injury there, that would be a really
You
bad
put
one.
up
You gotta
with so
support the
much,
neck when you do that.
Fujita.
No!
She's up.
So good.
No.
That looked bad for a moment. And
That
she
looked-
didn't move.
No. I hope she didn't compete after that. That would be so wrong. From a concussion standpoint, once you get the first one, just because you feel fine doesn't mean you should go back in, because now your brain's even more sensitive to worse injury.
Yeah, that's
Wrestling,
illegal.
a lot of cauliflower ear, a lot of
You
dislocations.
establish C-spine and stay there.
Elbow? Was that elbow? Falling on a weird angle like that on your elbow, it could be very devastating. In situations like this, it's usually more of a simple dislocation where you're tearing ligaments. Complicated or complex one would be broken bones. What can be dangerous is if you do have significant damage to that area, especially with a broken bone, you can tear arteries, which can cause massive bleeding from the brachial artery, but also massive nerve damage that can then predispose to issues with the hand. And as we know, the hand is very important. As occupational therapists can attest, so tipping my cap to occupational therapists and all the great work they do.
Torn ligaments are painful injuries to deal with at the easiest times. But for Olympic gymnast Kerri Strug, it had to be ignored. When her U.S. teammate left the vault having just missed the 9.4 needed to win the gold, it was down to Strug's remaining 2 attempts to secure the top medal.
Wait, she did it on a torn ligament?
When she limped back after falling during her first attempt, something had clearly gone very wrong. Strug knew that she had to land her second attempt as she made her way to the start.
That's so dangerous. Oh no, oh no. She landed on one leg. What a champ.
Her second landing involved the slightest of touchdown on both feet, and then a hop to the uninjured one to stay upright. Her efforts carried the team to gold at Atlanta 19.
Wow. Impressive. And also what the announcer didn't say is that when you have a tear of a ligament like that, especially initially, you get this massive inflammatory response where the knee essentially locks up on you. Remember, when you tear a ligament, it bleeds. So you have bruising in there, you have swelling in there, edema, all this buildup so that you have no range of motion with that knee. I don't even know how she sprinted through it.
Finalne skupine, Filc je na notranji progi v ospredju, še vedno Filc.
BMX, oh my God, everyone's falling on their faces. Some concussions, especially with that level of speed and deceleration, lots of symptoms. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, light sensitivity, noise sensitivity. Imagine you're a young person now, every time you go out to a party, there's loud noises and lights, you can't even be comfortable. That's the smallest part of it.
Yeah, and that's really the culmination of the camaraderie that we see. Oh,
what the heck happened?
just a really awkward fall into the sand pit.
He had a hamstring tendon tear, a knee contusion, and a tear in the ligaments of the right foot. Interesting. I'm surprised he didn't tear his PCL based on the motion of his knee moving back. I guess a foot got caught on the jump, on the explosive part of the jump. That's going to be a really long rehab process, 8 to 12 months.
And Angelica Bankston of Sweden.
The pole vault as an event scares the life out of me. You're going fast, there's a giant sharp object, and it reminds me of The Knight's Tale, jousting.
Watch what's happening here on her third attempt.
Oh! She looks okay, but where is that piece flying to? I paused it, and I see the trajectory. Oh, it did apply.
You never see anything like that. Obviously, guys, pole vault's the only sport and the only event in track and field your life is in.
Oh, she's okay.
You have to trust what's in your hands. It's so.
Oh, the pole broke. Does that happen? Is that a faulty pole?
There are multiple instances of this happening at the Olympics.
FPS, faulty pole syndrome.
Oh, FPS.
New diagnosis. Some people thought it meant first-person shooter, but no. I was worried because of where I paused it that piece was shooting out into the audience.
Well, the good news was she was okay. The better news is she's afforded another try as a
I hope so. I mean, your stick broke.
to try to join them at the next height.
Oh, and she did it.
Trust in her new pole. She gets over the bar.
That's what I always say. If you fall off the horse, get another pole. Just like in Formula One, you want to be in pole position. If the first pole isn't in the north, try going south. Contribute to your local polling station. Did he get hit by the stick on his finger? Did he get stick? Did he get finger stick? Oh, no, not finger stick. penile stick. It was pole-on-pole violence.
Oh no!
Oh my god. That's just a freak accident because it's not usually what happens. It's so rare, but it can happen. And what are you doing? You're flying 16 feet,
Nightmares.
17 feet. Good luck trying to
Oh my
avoid
God.
your pole from getting cut. That's 2 pole accidents. This is becoming very polarizing.
We're out of the pole clips now, so I'm glad you got it out of your system.
Francisco Lázaro overheats. This Portuguese marathon runner was his country's flag bearer during the 1912 Summer Games in Stockholm. This only makes the tragedy hit that much harder.
It's very easy to overheat when performing vigorous activity. And overheating doesn't just mean temperature, it also means fluid and electrolyte dysregulation. And when you have that, that ultimately causes organ failure. And when you have organ failure, then you have even bigger problems.
For the marathon, Lázaro covered his body in animal fat to help prevent sunburn.
I guess before sunblock, there were other avenues.
This layer of fatty wax prevented his skin from sweating,
Yeah, I was gonna say, that feels weird.
and he suffered a fatal imbalance of electrolytes.
Because by putting that fat, you essentially put a lipid layer over your skin, therefore making your pores clogged and making it difficult to have proper sweating and thereby proper evaporation and thereby proper cooling. With less cooling, you can develop serious symptoms of heat stroke.
He collapsed 19 miles into the race and passed away with a body temperature of 105. He became
Yeah,
the
don't do
first
that.
athlete
He
to die in the
died.
modern
Wow.
Olympics, and 23,000 people attended his memorial service in the Olympic Stadium.
This is why it's so important that when you're sweating a lot, you're losing a lot of fluids, you understand that you're also losing a lot of salt. And that's why professional athletes really take their electrolyte balance seriously and consume enough salt,
cooks.
especially
Let him
throughout
cook.
their
No,
events.
don't let him
That's why when I look
cook,
at
no.
something like Prime Energy, it doesn't have
They
enough
let
salt
him
in it
cook.
to do the trick. And I know why they don't add the salt. It would make it a better athletic beverage, but it would make it taste
Dave
worse,
ruins.
therefore less people would buy it.
In the second half, New Zealand's Katie Glynn suffered a nasty head injury.
Did she get hit in the face? Oh, right in the back. Chris Avila did this so much to me during my match. I swear to God. I was actually telling the ref one time, like, hit me in the back of my head and then my legs tripped up. I was like looking at the ref for like, hey man, say something to him. And people thought I wanted out. I didn't want out. I wanted a fair fight.
5 staples and 2 sutures later, Glynn returned to the pitch and completed the game.
Same day? Wow, champ.
Penalty shootout.
It's Hogue.
This looks like fun.
And she slots it home.
Was that good?
The Netherlands are through to the gold medal game.
Wow. Well done, Netherlands. Good at soccer and field hockey. I'm sure a bunch of other sports, but those are the only ones I'm aware of.
Within the men's 400-meter final, viewers around the world were united behind more than a team, but also one injured athlete. Just over halfway through the 400 meters semifinal event,
Oh,
the
I
British
saw it.
favorite
I
fell
saw
to
it
his
pop.
knee from what was later confirmed.
You have to pull up
as a
like that. Yep, that's
career-ending
happened to
torn
me before.
hamstring.
And rehabbing it is so difficult. I mean, you have to be very careful because any explosive movement can just re-trigger it. In fact, I'm not gonna lie. When I had it pop the first time, every time I
can I
sprinted
make
after,
a
even if I was warmed up, ready to go,
petition?
I still had this like little
Okay.
traumatic feeling.
I formally request that you wait. I need to mute your stream for a second.
Oh.
Can't even think. Okay, I'm good. So you don't like doing the chicken dance. You do owe Daniel one. So I petition that you change instead of the chicken dance, you do like a nice little like strip tease thing, like the shirt, and
Can't do
then
that.
not even for like 5 seconds.
No.
They don't do that.
I'm
gonna
just don't-
petition.
A, I don't think that's a good idea. B, the whole point.
But then people wouldn't do it.
Yeah, the
Some
whole
people
point is to make me do something that I don't want to do, right? That's why we do
Oh,
the
so
chicken
you would
dance.
want to do that, so that's why we don't do that. Okay.
Well,
cool.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to show my body off. It's not my thing.
In the back of my
But I thank you for your input, love.
head that
Yeah,
I,
I
need to take
did
it easy
try.
on my hamstring.
The image of Derek Redmond
There's-
hoisting
this is
himself
on
up.
record now. I have tried.
limping on and then carried over the finish line by his own father to a
She's
standing
judging me.
ovation because Derek had to finish his
Like,
race has
this
become
bitch is
nothing
making me
short of
sit up.
historic.
Oh, Muffin.
Pretty sure it's illegal. Can't have someone help you over the finish line.
In the springboard preliminaries, Greg Louganis met disaster.
Yeah, maybe you can come up with a few
One of the most
ideas.
haunting
Yeah, I
and
can.
memorable
Replace that
moments of the games.
I think they like that one, though.
He's doing good, he's doing good, he's doing good, he's doing good. Is he gonna hit his head?
Yes,
I have
it
to
is
pause
good.
He's gonna hit his head. No!
And you do like torture
No!
yourself.
Oh my god, I feel it. Oh. Oh, I'm so worried for his cervical vertebrae.
He did come immediately out of the pool and was assisted then.
Are they holding his hand?
Into a training room. And they worked on him.
They worked on him. I mean, I think they needed
Yeah,
to
you
get
cheated
him
the rules
stacked
of
to an
the
emergency
dance
center
from
with
Daniel.
his C-spine stabilized.
I don't feel like doing
on
it
the
'cause you
diving
just
board
did it,
mid-attempt,
so just watch
suffering
the
a
clip.
concussion, not to mention a
That's not how
normal wound
points
that
work.
required multiple stitches.
I can't imagine how much bleeding there was. The scalp bleeds so much.
On his very
I
next
would do it with
qualifying
you,
dive, Louganis earned a high score to advance to the finals.
Wow, overcoming the fear and the
do you mean?
trauma of it all.
Conversation.
You mean the shirt off thing?
The chicken dance.
Oh, I was like,
I moved
yeah,
on
you can't do
from,
that.
from that.
Yeah.
I respect your, wishes.
Yeah.
Formally.
Around Louganis' head injury took on a second life after he publicly came out at the 1994 Gay Games and published an autobiography
you wouldn't
announcing
have
to the
to do
world
it in
that he
like
was
a-
HIV positive.
That kind
Some
of way.
people,
it could be
including
like a
prominent
funny
members
thing.
of the IOC, criticized
Like a
Louganis
redneck
for not
way.
disclosing his HIV status immediately after his injury.
Oh, that's interesting because
I
for me
love
as a
you.
boxer, for
The answer's
example,
no.
because I have a professional boxing license, I had to submit HIV
Oh,
and
maybe you could
hepatitis
put on one of
testing
those
before my
trashy white
boxing
tank
match.
tops. But you would make it look good though, so don't even.
I'm not doing that.
That was the norm. I'm surprised that the Olympics still do this. Maybe
I
they
guess,
do now.
like,
Maybe it was just like a time
Probably
issue.
need an
Given that
example
other
of what I'm
Olympians are
talking
using the
about.
same
I know what
I
you're talking
understand the
about.
concern, but I'm very confident that there's no recorded instances of
Right.
HIV being transferred or transmitted in the midst
I
of
want
a
you to look
pool.
like one of the
virus
trailer park boys.
doesn't survive really
Your
outside the
choice.
body in this way. Chlorine
It
would
better
kill
be
it
Randy.
immediately. So I don't think that that is something people need to be concerned with. This is
Oh,
actually
now I'm
pretty simple.
definitely not doing it. Now I'm definitely not doing it. You my girlfriend compared me to fucking Randy from the Trailer Park
No,
Boys.
I said
Wow.
that you should
Wow.
temporarily
It's okay.
pose.
I've reacted.
Alright, I see how it is. I see how you see me.
To YouTuber injuries before, but apparently there's a few I missed.
Hot
So
take
let's check those
only.
out and get started. Whoop. Got some football. Football stuff. Oh, is
Why
this
does it look
destroying?
so
I heard something about this.
orange?
It's crazy how life could change.
Was that the injury? Was that when it happened? You know, leading head down is not the correct way to make a tackle from a safety perspective.
Blue light.
Instantly as I hit him,
It
my
is
whole left side of my body
neutral.
go numb.
Oh, no.
My arm is hurting.
Oh,
Where's
My
the
neck is
warmth
hurting.
coming
And a team doctor evaluated me, and he said I'm all right for
Yeah, my
now.
computer.
Just put some Tiger Balm on it, finish off the game, and we'll do further tests afterwards. But I don't
Oh,
know
wait.
if I'll be tackling people like that again.
Yeah,
No,
whenever you
it's
lead
not
with
Randy.
the crown
Wait,
of
is
your
it?
helmet.
Randy's the fat cheeseburger eating one. Who always has his shirt off.
Oh yeah, I just meant like that part of it. The not the.
Randy's like the
I mean,
joke
there's
of
nothing
the
wrong
show.
with-
He's the one everyone's always making fun of and calling a fat cheeseburger eater. That's what you just said to me. It was like you're.
I think
you'd
of
be
him
like
as
Randy.
the shirt off guy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does have a stomach, but I didn't mean it like that.
They call it a gut in the show.
Yeah. Like I know a few people who like to walk around like that, and it just cracks me up. Reminds me of my Italian grandpa a little bit. He could actually be him.
So now I'm a fat cheeseburger eater and a grandpa.
What the fuck is going on right now?
I don't know. Ask yourself.
I do not subscribe to this.
You're the one saying it.
Agenda. No.
Yeah.
You're twisting.
How?
You were twisting narratives. How dare you? Wait.
How dare I?
How dare you? How dare you? Where is it?
How dare you?
Dare you?
How dare you?
I'll get it. We're focusing on you right
you
now.
essentially open up your neck to all sorts of injuries. That's why
I would like
you
to
want to be
not do
tackling
that
almost with the
anymore.
shoulder and being able to visualize the person you're making the tackle of.
So what happened to you? On a kickoff, I went in and tackled somebody in proper form, head was down. And
it's called Sunnyvale. I forgot the name.
See, that's a great question by that physician because mechanism of
No,
injury
Randy's
is so
fucking
good. In
awesome.
the video, you could see his neck snap
Ooh,
backwards,
lady.
signifying that there's a
Everybody hates
hyperextension
Randy.
injury. And hyperextension of the neck is very, very dangerous because not only are there some connective tissue parts like the ligaments in the area, then you also have in the back 2 arteries that run up on either side of the spine called vertebral arteries.
like the
and when you have
Ricky lobe,
hyperextension,
the
especially to one
Julian
side, you
lobe.
could actually sever those arteries. It's obviously not what's going on
could
here.
do
I'm
all
just
of it,
describing the dangers
It's
of
a very nice
hyperextension.
attempt at a back
What did you
pedal,
feel
and I
when you did it?
appreciate it.
left arm went numb. And my neck just instantly got stiff.
So if I touch you here and here, is that 100% equal?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
This is a good evaluation from a neuro exam standpoint. You're not just
regulating
checking
my
muscular
emotions.
function, you're also checking sensation.
Is any of that super tender?
Towards the lower.
You've had a pretty significant injury to your neck. You fractured what's called the lamina, and you've broken them at C5. You've also disrupted, there's a ligament that's not on this model that runs up and down the front of your spine called the anterior longitudinal ligament.
That's a very severe injury. He essentially broke his neck. The neck is made up of 7 vertebral bodies, C1 to C7, and the higher up on the spinal cord that you have an injury, the more devastating it is. C5, depending on where that injury is, can impact your upper arm muscles. It can impact your ability to speak, like your vocal cords, and make it more difficult for you to breathe. And that's if the injuries of the spinal cord. Right now, all we know is that the injuries of the bone, and specifically, it's the posterior portion of the spine known as the lamina. If it was any other part of the spine, it's likely that he would have had more symptoms. But when you have the lamina fracture, that actually creates an opening for swelling to happen and actually can mitigate the symptoms. We actually perform what's known as a laminectomy, where we remove that part of the spine to allow less damage to occur for the spinal cord during other back injuries. So the fact that that part broke can allow a situation to happen where he's not sure that this is a devastating neck injury. That's why it's so dangerous.
And so, I mean, it was a major bony and ligamentous injury, and you have 2 small disc herniations at C5-6 and C6-7.
Disc herniations happen as a result of major pressure on the discs. Those are like the little spongy areas in between the vertebrae. Depending on where it herniates, it can create different symptoms. So if it herniates inward, it can actually put pressure on the spinal cord itself, which could be devastating. If it goes outward or to the side, it could put pressure on the nerves that exit the spinal cord and have symptoms on only one side versus the other.
The reality of this is these will probably heal, but it's probably going to be 3 months in that collar for it to heal.
I don't need surgery, right?
No.
That's interesting that they're saying he doesn't need surgery. It must be a very limited fracture, because a lot of times in a situation where the C5 vertebrae are fractured, you do need fusion surgery to make sure that they're stable. So I don't know the extent of the damage here, but it clearly must be at a reasonable amount that they feel he can just allow the area to heal with the C-collar on, protecting the spine, and then do some rehab work as well. You know, sending my best wishes to a speedy recovery to Destroying on this, because I can imagine how hard it is for being an athlete and having this happen to you.
By the way, this car that we've been standing next to this entire time, I bought this. The reason I had to buy a brand new car was because the next myth is that you can break a car window with your fist.
Oh, no, don't do this. Not only is someone gonna get cut and gonna bleed a lot, someone's gonna break a bone in their hand. That's not even a myth. Like, you're not supposed to do this. Like, there's even specific hammers that people have inside their car to break out in case they're like trapped or they're sinking.
Here we go. Oh! Oh!
People, be careful what you do for views, because this could become so dangerous. Like, cutting yourself in areas where you have major arteries is so scary because you could die in a minute or so.
Max getting stitches right now. That was a awful way to start the day. That was a stupid thing to do. That was a stupid bit, and creating entertaining content, we sometimes get carried away. That is a lesson learned on getting carried away right there.
Don't do that. You don't understand. Don't play with glass. Don't play with sharp objects. I can't tell you how easy it is for things to go wrong.
So it's freshman year. I wanted to do like an activity. What I tried to do was parkour, and it was like supposed to be a quote unquote beginner parkour thing.
I hate when things are say beginner because they're always still so hard. Like, I'll take a beginner yoga class and not walk the next 3 days. I just started using the tonal machine, and I did a beginner class, and it was so high intensity in terms of going from exercise to exercise. I got so sore, even though like I'm pretty strong. It's really funny.
It's time to drop from the second story and do a sweet tuck and roll into this little grass patch.
That sounds so scary for a beginner. Like, maybe you should just practice that on a mat first.
That I realized they assumed I knew how to do a tuck and roll, which I had never done in my life.
Should probably practice it before doing it off the second floor. Markiplier, come on, bud.
And so they're all giving me encouraging words. They're like, you can do it. And I'm like, I got this. And so I drop. And I landed from the second story straight onto my ass.
Oh my God, I feel for his coccyx already. Donut pillow incoming.
And, you know, at the time, I never connected the dots to me falling on my ass and possibly breaking something in my spine to this weird thing where I'd go to the gym and work my spine and I would be in horrible agony.
I mean, obviously it could be anything. My suspicion is there's some kind of herniation poking out a nerve that gets accentuated with either flexion or extension. Or it could be something completely different like SI joint pain or hip joint pain. Just usually those are not as electric in nature. Also, there could be like piriformis issues going on, but that's more like wear and tear as opposed to like acute trauma.
So I'll explain what happened. So I'm supposed to be bent over. A guy jumps on my back, who is your stunt double, grabs my back and pulls me back really fast.
It's those hyperextension injuries. See, it's like the theme of the video.
So I get pulled back with 100-something pounds of force, and then I have to pull forward.
And pulling forward also stresses all of these anterior scalene muscles and the sternocleidomastoid muscles, so you can like tear something just doing that. It also reminds me of like a whiplash injury from a car accident when you get rear-ended.
The stunt coordinator did not teach me how to properly
brace for it.
Do that. So for some reason that pressure all went straight to like right in between my abs, and I felt something pop.
Oh, he got a hernia.
So I put my fingers down between my abs, and there is a lump.
Little separation.
There's a lump right here.
Yeah, if you increase intra-abdominal pressure with relaxed abdominal muscles, you can create a hernia. And a hernia is essentially your intestines, your abdominal contents poking out through the hole. When the abdominal contents are poking out, if you try pushing them in, you can't. That's called non-reducible, and that could be dangerous because that could lead to incarceration of the bowel where it's actually getting choked out, and that's a surgical emergency. Or if you can push it back in, that's called reducible. That's the more common type. You can go for an elective procedure because of the risk, the increased risk of having incarcerated bowel.
And I didn't know what to do, so I just
pushed it back in.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say you pushed it back in.
So I pushed it back in.
He reduced it.
It was right above the belly button area, right here. And sometimes if I like do a certain thing where I pull up like this enough, and my skin is like tight enough, you could kind of see a little bump right here.
In those cases, we ask a patient to bear down or cough or lift up their head so that it flexes the area, and sometimes increasing that intra-abdominal pressure can cause the hernia to pop out.
Immediately when the doctor saw me, they're like, yep, that's a hernia. And I was like, cool, so how do I get that fixed? And they're like, you don't. I was like, what do you mean you don't? And they're like, well, so the thing is, if we want to fix this, we're gonna have to do surgery, open your skin, push it back.
You could do this laparoscopically.
And they said that they only recommend doing that if you have like a full-blown hernia. My hernia was like a weird thing where it's like a few layers got weak, and it like a little protrusion happened, but it wasn't a full rip open with a full intestine.
All right, so it's not a full hernia.
I was told that I should never lift weights again.
All right, there's some kind of like weird medical advice happening here with like a half answer. There is like a weakness in the abdominal wall called diastases recti. This actually happens during pregnancy sometimes when the abdominal muscles split, where you actually have a weakness in the wall and you could see protrusion on increased abdominal pressure. And we say be careful with abdominal exercises, but we don't say never lift weights at all. So I feel like we're kind of hearing both sides of the story, that it is a hernia, but it's not a hernia. It's probably diastases recti, which is a condition with weakness of the abdominal wall like this.
I'm guarding Michael Jordan. Bro gets me with a nice crossover, can't even lie. Boom!
Oh, elbow.
Goes up, hits me with a mean, vicious elbow to the chin.
Oh, that wasn't purposeful, though.
Jesser fouled him. I'm pissed at this point because I'm dripping blood and there's a foul on me for getting elbowed in the face.
Well, yeah, it's depending on where you are on the court, if you got in the way of the shooter's arm.
I have to get subbed out. I go straight to the bathroom. Our team nurses rush in to the bathroom to help.
Does he have a chin laceration? That's going to require sutures, probably.
Close-up shot of the chin.
Ooh, that's a solid opening that requires closure. And the reason why the chin and the skull have these really severe lacerations like that is because whenever you have contact from like a hard surface, like someone's elbow, the skin gets trapped in between the hard elbow and your hard chin, and that essentially acts as the force that cuts it. So if this was like padded, like let's say the buttock is, less likely for a laceration to happen, more likely a bruise to happen.
So let's go through it, head to toe.
Oh,
total damage. I've had no shortage of concussions, and I figured that my brain's pretty messed up, so I went to this brain scan place.
Oh, no.
And they said it looked pretty good.
What that brain scan place is doing what's known as brain electrical activity mapping beam. That doesn't actually tell you anything about the anatomy of the brain.
I didn't see nearly the kinds of things I expected to see in your brain.
Cool.
I do see what might be a sort of stress response from long years of drinking.
A lot of this is correlational and not causative, so I would be careful about drawing conclusions from an EEG. If you're really looking for damage, looking at anatomy through a brain scan like a CT or an MRI is going to show you more information. And even then, clinically judging someone is way more valuable than anatomically, unless you're in an acute setting.
Oh.
My vision just gets worse and worse, and I think it might be because all of the lemon juice and hot sauce I poured in my eyes.
Yeah, Steve-O. Why didn't we talk about this on the podcast?
I've got another pretty serious situation in my esophagus, which is called Barrett's esophagus.
This is a precancerous condition. We talked about this on the podcast. What happens is basically the cell types, due to long-term exposure of acid, usually from leaking from the stomach, change the type of cells inside the esophagus, which is a cancerous change. Obviously, that can be lethal if you let it go unchecked.
I have to get that monitored with endoscopies like every year or so.
This really depends person to person and how long we've established stability. Sometimes you can space that out.
If I got $1 for every time somebody asked me if I could have kids with all of the kicks to my nuts, I'm telling you, I'd have a bunch of dollars. So I went to the fertility clinic to get a sperm count before my vasectomy.
It all depends on the damage.
Look at that, dude. I'm going off.
Whoa.
I'm going off. I'm off to the operating room, and I'll leave you with this. The body is not a temple. It's an amusement park. Ride it till the wheels fall off.
Oh, no, Steve-O, don't say that. You're encouraging bad behavior. And I'm actually surprised that he has no testicular damage from all the kicks and stuff that he's taken, because it's a sensitive area.
He's like
What's
the
up,
male
everybody?
Miley
My name is
Cyrus.
Scott.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you about how my 50 cal exploded, and I almost bit the dust about 2 weeks ago.
Whoa,
The body
where
is
those
not a
staples
temple.
are is
It's
so
an
incredibly
esophagus.
scary for me. The jugular
Christ.
vein, the carotid. There's
I'm sorry,
so much
but
anatomy
I
there
don't
that is
listen
like
to him.
instant fatality. Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's got some brain damage.
What?
Love him, but damn.
Does this happen? I don't know anything about this.
This cap hit me right there.
But he had the safety goggles on? Thank God.
But it struck me in the face. It broke my orbital bone in 3 spots, here, here, and here. It also broke my nose.
And that's so dangerous given the fact that you can have orbital swelling, damage to the muscles that attach to the orbit. Therefore, you have difficulties with vision and ability to move the eye.
The other ear hit me right here in the throat. It proceeded to lacerate my jugular vein and then
Right,
punctured a hole in my right lung.
How did he survive this?
I took my left thumb, wrapped it in my shirt, and I shoved it as
Oh,
far into my
sorry,
neck
love.
as possible. The doctors told me that if it wasn't for this thumb, that I would have died.
Sorry.
This thumb saved
Stay.
my life, and my wife came up with this saying. She said, just put a thumb in it.
And what happened? Why did the gun do that?
Complicated gun mechanical stuff.
But he's probably taking care of them so...
50 cal is a really, really complicated piece of equipment.
Here's what's legally allowed to be in your food. This list will surprise you. Click here, check that out, and as always, stay happy and healthy.
Oops.
Jesus.
Not on the right stream.
Alright, maybe I'll play like one more.
Injuries, accidents, and illnesses from some of the biggest YouTubers you watch. Let's get started. Whoop.
Listen.
I'm listening, Casey. Talk to me, man. That's a crunchy knee. My knee sounds 1-to-1 the same. Okay, maybe not that bad.
This is the moment of truth. The radiology center's right there, and they're gonna look inside my knee.
He went like this as if they're gonna do an ultrasound, which is unique because most people get an MRI. It usually provides better imaging for the deeper ligaments within the knee.
And I haven't been totally irresponsible. The minute I felt a pain, I went to a guy, a running specialist. He taught me some stretches. I've been doing it.
When he said a guy, I hope he means someone medically certified, right?
No, I shouldn't even be able to run. I have no business running. I broke my leg about a decade ago. I broke it in 27 places.
27 places?
Is this right here? This is all metal.
You know, our femurs actually have better tensile strength than steel and concrete. It's kind of cool.
The doctor told me, Casey, you're never gonna be able to run again. But I was 26 years old then, and there's no way I was gonna let that doctor tell me I was never gonna run again.
I run. I'm pretty sure every video that Casey has made when he was in his like peak Casey era, he was running.
So, listen, I'll tell you briefly, but basically what I see on the MRI is two things.
I do wish that he told the doctor he was recording him.
You have something called a plica. It's a piece of tissue that connects on your kneecap, and it connects also to your IT band, and it pulls your kneecap out of alignment, and it causes cartilaginous like wear and tear. Just to kind of fast forward, you can run, and you can even run now. I'm not worried.
So it's basic, this part of the knee that gets inflamed sometimes through overuse. Kind of is a weird diagnosis, but it's basically a series of overuse and inflammation that is very, very treatable. Popping, cracking is not always dangerous, which is why I tell my patients that unless it's combined with other symptoms, in most cases, it's nothing to worry about. And in that moment, I squat down and let them hear my knees, which are pain-free. A little basketball action, 2-on-2. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say knee gave out, but then he cracked his head on the hoop.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that's bad, that's bad.
Remember, the scalp bleeds a lot because there's a lot of vital capillaries in this area. You could see it on the image.
I'm not looking.
The superficial damage is not what I would be worried about. Why I'd be worried is we want to make sure there's no fracture, and we also want to make sure there's no swelling inside or concussion.
It really didn't hurt that bad. I just think because it's all the adrenaline. Like, I wasn't in like serious pain, and then I haven't had any headaches since it happened.
Well, not being in serious pain in the moment is not unusual. It's also really dangerous and why athletes want to rush back in after they have a concussive hit to the head. In fact, we even see behavior changes in athletes who experience a concussion.
The most painful part was probably they jabbed the needle into my skull.
The needle is for lidocaine so he doesn't feel the staples.
Which was painful, and then they stapled my skull, which was also painful.
In many instances, we say don't even use the lidocaine, let's just do the staples, because it probably will hurt less and less pokes too.
You guys ready?
Ready.
Ready. All right, let's go.
As everyone shows up to do the stunt in the middle of the lake.
I feel like YouTube videos have gotten to the point where it's how extreme can we be in order to maximize the clickability of the video? And that could be good, but then it could also create a lot of problems.
I just jumped out of a plane 20 times. What's the worst that could happen if I swing from a rope over a 1-foot deep lake?
Oh my God, not only did he make contact with the thing, but then he also fell with his leg like that. There's actually a very common injury called the Lisfranc injury that happens when you get tossed off a horse, but your leg is still attached in the stirrup. And that reminds me of that. I wonder if that's the injury that he had.
When I woke up in the hospital, I was in shock. I was in a lot of pain. I tore some ligaments in my leg. I broke my foot. I broke my hip. I shattered my skull in 9 places. I shattered my eye socket. I almost lost my eye.
Yeah, getting hit in the orbit is a very problematic injury because there's a lot of tissue behind those bones. There's the nasoethmoid area, the lacrimal area where your tears come from, the muscles that attach to that area, which make up your face, and the muscles that control your orbital movements, your eye movements. These are all attached to those bones. And if there's enough damage, those muscles can change so much so that your whole facial appearance can change, its functionality can change, your ability to breathe and cry can change. These are big things for a human's, not just development, but I guess quality of life. But wow, brutal injury. Glad to see that he's up on his feet and training now. Last I saw, he was actually training with Casey Neistat, who we just saw earlier.
A bunch of friends and I woke up super early one day to be overachievers and go to an interactive programming workshop. We all get there and things are going smoothly. I'm enjoying several delicious pastries at no expense to myself. But, starting to feel a little gurgly. My bowels were making a movement.
Bowels moving means like you're gonna go to number 2. Actual burbling inside your stomach is called borborygmy and not a bowel movement. Fun fact.
Later, my roommate was talking to his then girlfriend, and she was like, that sounds a lot like appendicitis. You should take him to the hospital.
Well, I mean, just being nauseous and having diarrhea does not alone point to appendicitis. If you have pain on the right lower quadrant and nausea, fever, vomiting, all these things, that could be indicative.
Hey, Andy, we should go to the hospital. At the hospital, I'm asked a bunch of questions. Where does it hurt? How long has it been hurting? When did this start?
These are really good questions. It's called OPQRST, and each one stands for something specific.
And then the doctor told me, I think you have appendicitis. We're gonna have to move you to urgent care.
That's kind of backwards. Urgent care is not as urgent as emergency room care. Urgent care is like the middle ground between primary care, like in an office setting where I work, and an emergency room. But appendicitis is most definitely emergency room, not urgent care.
In the hospital, they take me to the scanner room. They needed to look inside of my sweet bod to assess the situation and to see how dire it was.
We look in those situations to see if the appendix is inflamed, enlarged, if it has ruptured, where is the area that's being affected. And also we're trying to diagnose if it is in fact appendicitis. In many instances, it's not appendicitis. It could be something in a related organ, perhaps diverticulitis, which is an inflammation of the intestine through its outpouchings that exist over time. You have like little bouts that pouch out. That's called diverticulosis. And then from there, you can get an infection, diverticulitis.
If they put you under for surgery, you need to have your stomach empty. Otherwise, it can be dangerous. Again, not sure why.
Well, the reason why is when you're sedated, you don't have access to your gag reflex, so that if you do vomit, you can aspirate whatever that you're vomiting directly into your lungs, and that's problematic. That can cause infection, inflammation, lung failure, very dangerous stuff.
To pump the stomach, you have to have a tube pushed down your throat. It's a long piece of plastic that you have to continuously swallow down until it reaches your stomach, and then they can turn it on and get all of the stuff out of your stomach.
What he's describing here is a nasogastric tube that goes through your nose and goes into your stomach, and we could put it on suction. What's interesting about these devices is that you don't want it to have it.
I was gonna say something that would piss you off so much.
Oh.
I was intrusive thought. I was gonna say I, on the other hand, look like Randy from Triller.
Permanently on suction, because then it could actually attach itself to the wall of the stomach and then cause damage to that wall. So you want to do something known as intermittent suction, where it suctions, lets go, so it loosens off the wall if it gets caught, and then it suctions again, and then lets go. Intermittent suction is usually the safer way of doing it.
And then I woke up, appendixless. I was cured.
Post-appendectomy.
Hello.
Hi.
It's time for me to share one of my most deepest, darkest, saddest stories that I have held inside and not told anyone in over 15 years. That's right, I broke my ass.
His tailbone, his coccyx, or his ischial tuberosities?
The problem is, I get really, really, really motion sick or seasick, and anyone
Is that you
gets
talking or the
seasick, you
liquor?
know how awful
Oh
it is.
Yeah, that's
no,
basically an
here we go. How's it
overactivation
going, Sarah?
of those semicircular canals,
Oh,
where if you
I knew
have
someone was gonna
hyperactivation of it, it can trigger
have seen
you to
Trailer
feel
Park
nauseous.
Boys.
So I bought this motion sickness tablets, which is supposed to help with it.
A lot of these motion sickness tablets
And
that
it
people buy over the
begins.
counter are usually antihistamine based, and those are drowsy, they're sedating, they do work rather quickly
How you doing?
on the motion sickness component.
I was gonna sit down, everything was fine. It was a beautiful sunny day. We were all drinking beer, alcohol free, of course. I landed on a bench.
I'm somehow doubtful of that, but the problem with that is you're combining a lot of sedatory effects. You have someone who is motion sick, so their balance is already off. You have someone who's taking antihistamine, probably, which causes sedation, and then they're drinking alcohol, which is also a depressant. You have all three things working against you there.
We had to go to the hospital. We did the
Yeah,
scan
aren't we
to
all?
confirm that yes, indeed, there was a crack in my
I
neck.
hear ya.
I want to know what the ass crack is. If this is a true coccyx fracture, which is a tailbone fracture, coccydynia, or pain of the coccyx from a fracture, does not really get treated surgically unless there's a major
it's been
dislocation
tough.
or displacement. It's just rest, sitting on one of those donut pillows, and pain control. And pain control for coccydynia is really, really tricky. It's really painful, really uncomfortable.
So on Tuesday, I told my sister that I thought I had a blood clot in my arm. I was like, something is wrong.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
Yeah,
something
true.
happening. But it looks like there was something worn
Just
on
keep,
the right
just
arm.
keep going,
and there's definitely
right?
discoloration, there's swelling. Yeah, there's definitely something happening that's causing increased pressure in that arm.
Woke up the next morning, was supposed to record a podcast, decided that we have a serious issue. The veins are starting to break in my shoulder. This arm is so swollen. I looked ripped.
That type of venous swelling is telling us that there's some sort of obstructive process happening, that the veins can't be drained outward. Unlike arteries, which are a little bit muscular, veins are thin walled, so they don't have the ability to push the blood out. The way veins allow blood to pass through them is by having little valves that are one-way valves, where when the heart beats, the blood goes up, and then when the heart relaxes, the valve closes and prevents the blood from backflowing. Now, if there's a lot of pressure or there's not a lot of room for the blood to travel because of a blockage, those valves start becoming incompetent because the veins with their thin walls start to swell. And that's what likely was happening here, but now that we need to figure out and move up the chain of the body to figure out where that obstruction is coming from.
My sister races me to the emergency room, and there they do an ultrasound, they find a blood clot.
So what we do is called a duplex ultrasound. That allows us to see venous blood flow, and we can act by giving medications to thin clots, to bust clots, or perhaps go in and remove the clot surgically or minimally invasively. Oh, they wrote deep vein thrombosis. That's a diagnosis that needs to be acted on urgently, because if that clot becomes dislodged, it can get shot into the pulmonary system, where it then creates a pulmonary embolism.
We're gonna have to do a thrombectomy, which is where they take a catheter and shove it into your vein and pump medicine into the clot.
That's what we were talking about when I said minimally invasively.
We do that. We go in, they put the catheter, and they decide that they're gonna do this drug called TPA to dissolve it. I didn't know what that was. I was freaking out.
TPA stands for
Outside.
tissue plasminogen activator. This is something we give in strokes. The risk factors to it is bleeding. Bleeding in the brain, incredibly dangerous because it's very hard to control. Bleeding in the arm, dangerous, but you can control that surgically. So definitely tricky substance to give, and you want to give
I'm gonna
it
go
just
walk
in the area
it
where
out.
it needs to be,
Oh,
in the brain.
Well,
You kinda have
I'm
to-
gonna be finishing up here in a couple minutes, so I guess I'll call you once I'm done with my stuff after my stream.
You can call me if you want. I had a hard time hearing both audios, but
I said I'm gonna be finishing here in a few minutes, so I guess I'll call you after I'm done with like my after stream stuff.
oh, okay, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Great stream. I'll leave it up and yeah, have a good end of it.
See ya.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
Send it there. Here you can be a little bit more accurate and deliver it directly to the spot where you need it.
So here we are, third time's a charm. We go back in, and this, thankfully, worked. There she is, clot free. Woo! And with that being said,
Well, my biggest question here is, why did the clot form? Because DVTs that are unprovoked deserve to be worked up. because there are very specific reasons why we expect clots to form. Like if you're immobilized for a long period of time and you're in bed and you're not moving, that could be a risk factor. If you took a really long plane ride, that could be expected. But if there's nothing that you did that should cause a clot, you should be investigating why that is happening.
That evening, after they said that the clot was gone, it was dissolved, I started having chest pains, shortness of breath. I started getting a little worried and something did not feel right. I felt something like traveling.
The thing that you want to really monitor in situations like this is EKG changes to see if that the heart starts acting in any specific way, if you're seeing patterns of pulmonary embolism where the clot has traveled into the lungs, and then also to see if the heart is struggling in any way by drawing serial troponins, which are cardiac enzymes. These are byproducts that are released by the cardiac muscle of the heart when it is damaged, and that usually happens when the heart's not getting enough blood flow, usually due to a blockage.
The girl's been unhooked from the heparin, which means I now have to take pill form. But hey, I had a pulmonary embolism, which means a piece of the blood clot broke off and went to my lungs.
Yeah, that can happen as a result of the thrombectomy. As we said earlier, you are on medication for a period of time. Once the workup returns for reasons why you would be at risk for developing another blood clot, and that's all negative, then after a period of time, you can come off the blood thinning medication. If there is a reason why you are high risk for clots, you may have to stay on that medication.
I have something called thoracic outlet syndrome. It comes in 3 kind of variations where there isn't enough space between your rib and the vein, the nerve, or the artery to kind of pass through.
The area that she's talking about in thoracic outlet is between the clavicle, the first rib, and most importantly, the muscles called the scalenes of the neck, specifically the anterior and middle scalene of the neck. What you have there is a little triangle where the brachial plexus travels through, which is the nerves that travel out to your arm and give sensation and muscle control to your arm, as well as the subclavian artery and vein. So what she has is very rare, but it sounds like there's compression happening of that subclavian vein. Therefore, you have more likely a chance for a clot to form in that area. Amazing that she was able to share all that, survive it, give a really good medical explanation. Wow, shout out iJustine. Incredible sea survival stories. Click here, animated, narrated, really interesting. Click here to check that out. And as always, stay happy and healthy.
All right. Gonna go ahead and finish up for now, guys. I will be back in about 3.5-ish hours for the night stream. See you guys there. Sarah, I hope you'll join us then as well. Everybody